The Starship, Race to World Worst, Season 3, is proudly supported by Blizzard Entertainment, Raider.io, Zygor Guides, and is proud to support our partnered charity, Safe in Our World.
If you like Mythic Plus, you'll love Raider.io's two newest features, the Auto Route Creator and the Mythic Plus Replay System, both available for free to everyone right now. Try out the Auto Route Creator to generate your own routes from any live-tracked key on the leaderboards, or test your team's mettle against pros, guildies, your friends, or your own personal bests by starting a replay alongside your real-time run with the Mythic Plus Replay System. Get your hands on both features for free right now on our website and let us know what you think. Until then, we'll see you in Azeroth.
Power level your characters, make lots of gold, and accomplish more in World of Warcraft with Zygor Guides. Our guides are unique in that they use a custom guide viewer add-on to display things right inside the game. Every guide is presented in an easy-to-follow, step-by-step format that tells you exactly where to go, who to talk to, which quests to accept, how to complete quest objectives, and more, all in the most efficient manner to get more done in less time. Since the guides are in-game, they can dynamically detect your progress, update in real time, and automatically skip forward as you complete steps. Finding your way around couldn't be easier thanks to our custom waypoint arrow that works like an in-game GPS, generating the fastest directions to your next location, factoring in every method of travel, including flight paths, items, portals, and more. You'll no longer find yourself wondering where to go or what to do next ever again. The guides also include numerous additional features to speed things up even more, like auto-accepting and turning in quests, highlighting the best quest rewards, notifying you when you have new gear upgrades, pointing where you need to fly to on your map, auto-selling gray items, and more. We offer guides for virtually every aspect of the game, including leveling, dungeons, dailies, professions, collectibles, and achievements. Discover all the latest content with our new Featured section, which showcases all the new guides added in every patch and expansion with detailed explanations on how it all works. Or search our entire collection to find a guide for almost anything you want to do. All of our guides have been fully updated for Dragonflight, and new content is being added all the time. Sign up for Zygor Elite and gain instant access to our full suite of guides for both retail and classic WoW for one low monthly fee. As part of Zygor Elite, you'll receive ongoing weekly updates for new patches, future expansions, and seasonal events, as well as general fixes and improvements to make sure all content stays current and well optimized for any changes Blizzard makes. Take your gaming to the next level with Zygor Guides.
Who took the bomb?
See you later.
My visions are not the same as the others. No radiance, no song, just the shadow taunting me from below. The fate of our world rests upon the edge of a knife. And our battle lies deep within.
The new year has come and gone, and what a great year it's been for Raider.io. Now is the perfect time to stop, reflect, and appreciate what we accomplished in 2023. I got the tool for you then. Introducing Raider.io's Auto Route Creator. Simply choose a replay and start to watch how your run differs in real time. The Great Push is back.
Now, Fellblade. This is a very common habit Demon Hunter does. You're walking away from the boss.
I'm Ace Eric with Raider.io, and I'm here to bring you the key points and updates, the key points and updates, the key points and updates of the last 24 hours of the Aberrus, the Shadowed Crucible Race to World First.
46 cents to support Make-A-Wish International.
The time has come yet again.
That makes this matchup so difficult for Zico is not the so tanky as King.
There we go! And just like that, the final key is complete.
Тому що потім треба буде повертатися всією командою в кімнату.
Also, controversial opinion. Does ketchup go on steak?
I can't really blame the Beavers too much. If that's like their fault.
We're gonna do a streamathon again. We probably better get ready for it.
Big Uwu damage. He just fully switched into his regular.
I couldn't really see him, but it seemed like I did.
In the bottom right corner, this is something to show the chat. Let's see.
Want to make sure that we're providing the best experience we can.
Of adding a new specialty type server to Classic. Tip for your next Galacron's Fall run. Do a quick breakdown on some of the most commonly misunderstood trash in Galacron's Fall.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Race to World Worst, where 5 teams battle it out in 4 dungeons to win a whole lot of swag, whole lot of loot. I'm joined today by Co-Optimally. Co, how are you feeling today? Are you ready?
I'm nervous, but I'm ready. I love the attire. You've gone from rum burgundy to absolute. You like a proper anchor. What can I say?
There we are. Co, tell me about these dungeons. Is there one in particular that you're looking forward to? I know we're going to touch on them a bit later, but for you, running these, I know time and time again back in the day, which one stands out?
Gundrak is probably the one that most people are excited by, just because it's quick and easy. But there's also some elements where you can really make a hell of a lot of time. I have some really exciting strategies. Not me personally, but I know of them, involving certain leaps of faith.
Ooh, okay. Well, that's going to be exciting to look out for later. Now, Co, we've done this before. And do you want to give us a little recap on what happened last time?
Yeah, so in case this is your first time, this is the second live event of this, the third event in total. Last time it was TBC. This is a timed event, so you get all of those interesting little bits, and what's the word? Little bits happen. Let's leave it there.
Yeah.
And sometimes, especially for teams like Dead on Arrival, you find some really clutch moments.
All right, let's bring this up here. Talk us through it.
So what happened here was they were quite far behind. I believe it was Adam's team, which is going to be Goblin, and they just tried something new. They just sent it on the last possible run. They just decided, we're just going to split this. It's just fine. And they managed to save, like, I think it was 30 seconds off of their best run, just by this kind of the pressured environment, and they just came up with something completely new and different and found the way.
Yeah, in the last moments, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this was their last run with maybe 10 seconds left, because if you guys don't know, then it's a 30-minute hard limit per dungeon. If they were to have gone 11 seconds past this, that would have been it. This run wouldn't have counted. This was all on this. They sent it, and it was a beautiful moment.
So for people watching at home who don't know, maybe have not seen this dungeon, normally you go to one boss and then the other boss, but what they've decided to do here is split into 2 and kill 2 bosses at once. Now, these shenanigans, I'm sure we're going to see today. Something, potentially. We know there's a lot of things cooking. Now, there was something else as well, Co, that happened last time.
Yeah, with these dungeons not quite being as optimized as perhaps modern ones, then certain community leaders and demon hunters tend to get feared through the map.
Yeah, we can see here, a lot of fearing through the map. We're going to play that again. So we got the fear coming out, and then just clipped straight through and started flying, as demon hunters do.
He didn't even put the wings away. He just kept gliding there on the screen.
So that was just a few of the fun things that happened last time. I know we've got a whole spread of stuff that happened today. We had a lot of people hiding their streams, so we couldn't see their strats. Lots of crazy things like this. Now, why are we here? Of course, Starship, we're sort of the community here putting this together in conjunction with all the different sponsors that we have above here, and we're very, very happy to have them on board. But I want to mention the prizes, the reason why the teams are battling so hard today. Let's bring them up. We're going to go first with third place. We've got 3 Bright Paw pet codes. Are you a pet sort of person, Co? Are you a collector of pets?
I'm amazed that you said that with such fluency. That was a difficult. You must have been doing all sorts of exercises before you started. Despite being, I'm a pet person in real life, and surprisingly, I don't play any pet classes in game and never really have them out. I do like collecting them though, so that's something.
And of course, they do get the event runner-up Discord role and badge, which is really cool. And thank you for the follows coming through. Second place, we've got 3 BlizzCon collection codes and the event runner-up Discord role and badge, which is super cool. You get to show it off to all your friends, be like, look, I finished second, I'm amazing. But first place, now this one's kind of cool.
Spicy.
So 3, the War Within, Heroic Editions, and the event winner role Discord badge. I'm very jealous, Co. I'm very, very jealous of this first prize here. We have talked about, you know, if we were playing, what we would do. Do you think these players are really pulling everything out to try and get those heroic editions?
Yeah, I mean, it's a heroic edition as well, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for any more. They absolutely are. I know some crazy strats. I have watched some of the teams do what they're thinking of doing, and if everything goes according to plan, then we've got seconds in between everyone. Really, it's super close race today.
Awesome. So we do want to quickly go over the teams here. Very, very important that we sort of understand who's going to be running these dungeons. We're going to look first here on Dead on Arrival. Now, very interesting here with the Holy Priest. I've played with a couple of these players, and yeah, they really want to win. Ko, what do you think about this team?
The interesting thing to look at in this team is the fact that there is no tank. They're just sending pets, which I love as a strategy.
Yeah.
They've found a different way of doing it. They're not going the Guardian Druid seems to be the way that a few of these teams, there's not really a meta as we discussed previously for those of you who are joining back this run. So it's all about finding those creative ways of doing things, and I'm pretty interested to see how this plays out.
Yep. Also, fan of the name. I won't mention it live, but you can read it for yourself. Okay, moving on here to Double Bacon and Haggis. What a name. And a wonderful logo as well, I have to say. So here, we've got a couple of favorites from last time. Yeah, have you got anything to say about this team? I know we've got the Guardian Druid here, as you mentioned. Is there anything else we need to look out for?
Well, Shadow Priest is going to be something that keeps popping up. Well, obviously, we have Zippy, the guild's genius tank, so hopefully you can see something amazing from him and
Raid Leader
from the other day. And Raid Leader, of course, and the host of Sunday Raid School. Join us on Sundays. Yeah. Shadow Priest seems to be the one that keeps popping up every now and again. Death Knight actually, surprisingly, is I think it's pretty much the first time we've seen it in the race, haven't we? I don't believe we saw it last time.
No.
So I'm excited to see all that plague being spread. But this is a bit more of a standard team, no healer, but using the Shadow Priest as well.
And if I know Zippy, something is cooking in the kitchen, as we see there with the Double Bacon and Haggis. I'm sure some strats are in that pot as well. Now moving forward here into, and I'm going to say it, Goblin D's Nuts. Wonderful team here. We've got our wonderful community leader there in the middle, Celeste. What do you think of this team? They do have this Resto Shaman in the team and the Guardian Druid. More of a standard comp, would you say?
Yeah, we need to obviously /bow in chat to our community leader. It's definitely more of a standard comp, but Resto Shaman in this event is just, come on. It's just so much damage. The reason they were playing Elemental before and using it because they realized they didn't need the healing so much from actually being pure Resto, but then they realized that Resto just does more damage as well.
I'm really interested to see this team, especially as we've seen the Guardian Druids come in time and time again. I think there's something to say about this Guardian Druid. Maybe the extra healing they can give out and sort of that survivability to go through here. Maybe some big pulls we're going to see. I'm very curious.
So one thing to mention as well that we didn't have last race is that these dungeons that we've chosen today are a lot bigger. So not only is it about the damage output in the moment, but it's also more about maneuverability. So even though casters, in terms of the gear that they can collect, and they can only collect gear from Wrath of the Lich King, casters have an advantage in what's on offer. Their classes like DH, just that movement speed, will it take more time off as a whole? There's only one way to find out.
I mean, we'll wait and see. And now we have a new team to the competition. We haven't seen this team before. Sicarios. A really cool logo, I have to say. Very, very suave. Now, I don't know much about these players, I'm going to be honest with you. We've got the Balance Druid coming in there, and also the Protection Paladin. For me, the Paladin Protection is a good pick. I think they're a jack of all trades. They can do a lot. I just wonder, Talent Tree to Wrath the Lich King, do they have all the tools that they have on live? That's something that I'll be looking out for.
Well, one thing that I'm not too sure if they've done it or not, but bubble pulls were a thing that you can just bubble pull everything, and as long as your DPS is high enough, you'll pretty much survive anything, right? Because you're immune. But I know that the prop pally here has been coming up with some super interesting strats, and which we won't mention here because I don't want everyone like quickly changing their routes on their pen and paper. But if we still use pen and paper these days, I do. But we'll just see what happens. This is the surprise package. This is if you're looking for a team and you don't know who, and you want the outside bet that might win big, then I think this is the one.
Well, that's it. It's the dark horse, the outside bet, as you say. And if you are cheering for a team, this one could be the one that creeps up and does something special. Because, again, we have not seen them. And, yeah, I'm interested to see. So, moving forward, we've got the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Which one's which, though?
Which one's which? Let's have a look here. Now, I've something to mention here. Widow, I've played with before. You know, we've been sitting in M+ with, 100+ deaths in keys. And they've held their cool. So I think they're a player to look out for to give sustain and give some to help prop the team up. Maybe they'll get some good times.
Are we saying Widow's the bad then? 100+ wipes on Mythic Plus?
I mean, no. I'm not going to flame the team, but I'm really interested to see them. Again, the Guardian Druid, the Shadow Priest, as we mentioned, the casters coming through because of Rash of the Lich King, of course, access to more things. But the Havoc Demon Hunter, as we know on live, can push out a lot of damage. I wonder what they're going to be doing in this dungeon. I'm kind of seeing big pulls here. What are you thinking, Ko?
Yeah, well, all of them have to do big pulls, but I really do think you'll see. We all will as we move through just how much movement speed is going to play a massive part, and it's just how much time do you save moving as opposed to doing, let's say, a 500 more DPS.
Yeah.
Well, which one is going to win? So you might not see as good numbers from, let's say, one of these Havoc Demon Hunters as you would from an Affliction Warlock, but is the ability to skip certain things or to fly or to leap or whatever, will that pay off as a whole? And that's, I think, the thing to look out for.
Yeah, and I think it's something so wonderful about these dungeons is that we've done them so many times, hundreds of times, thousands of times, but there is always something potentially you could try with different combinations of classes, and hopefully we'll see that today. We do see a couple of classes show up throughout the teams time and time again, and I think that's from a lot of talking to each other, maybe through their practices. They're like, maybe we should play this, they're playing that, which is really cool, a small meta forms during training and practice. Are there any standout classes that you've seen there? For me, the Holy Priest, I think is interesting. Maybe the Holy Nova could dish out enough damage to do a lot to big packs. I'm not sure.
I think that, let's just say on Gundrak there's a certain priest I want to watch. It's nothing to do with Holy Nova.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, and also for those in the chat saying pen and paper, yes, obviously this is my chart. Look at it, amazing.
Old man. I was watching in the ad break to let chat know before we started, Ko scribbling down on a piece of paper, and I was like, what's this parchment that this man has? Very confused. But we are very, very close to seeing these teams finally get out there and do their thing. I want to talk briefly on a weak aura that we've had made for the dungeon. Now, Ko, please tell us, what is this weak aura? How is it going to help us during the event? And what do we need to look out for?
Okay, so basically this weak aura validates all of the gear and the levels of the players. We'll only validate properly if there's 3 players that are all level 30 and they have only gear from Wrath of the Lich King. Then, once they get into combat, which I've talked to all the teams about, they're not going to cheese, they promised. Once they get into combat, the timer will start. We'll see individual boss times for every team, and then we'll see the total time at the end. That total time at the end then gets put down on paper and converted into points. The fastest team 3 points, second fastest 2, third fastest 1. Everyone else nil points, much like UK and Eurovision.
Yeah. Hey, we did pretty well. Was it last year? The year before? We finished second?
I stopped watching like 15 years ago.
Right, okay. And yeah, and there you are writing on pen and paper. Makes sense. Wonderful. So the first dungeon we are going into today is Utgard Keep. Before we get there, we're going to have a brief overview of the map, just in case any of you have forgotten, maybe you've not played back then. Utgard Keep, we've got here in Howling Fjord, of course, the home of the tyrannical king, Mimron, of course. Now here we've got the bosses. Ko, is there any bosses here that stand out to you? Maybe there's some sort of cool strat potentially here.
I think what most teams are doing is seeing how much you can pull towards the first boss and still survive, and then how far you can pull the second one. I think this one is very much just about chaining bosses and leashing mobs onto them.
Yeah.
The third boss is slightly annoying because obviously it has the intermission phase, so that has to be factored in. But this one really is just how many mobs can you pull, can you chain to the next one, and then AoE down as soon as you possibly can. This is a mix between constant damage and movement ability. So it's not all about massive AoE packs, it's also about moving around. And each dungeon features something slightly different. There's no mob, one mob in here like there is in Ankahet. There's one in Ankahet that does percentage-based damage. It will just 60% you, which can one-shot tanks if they're not careful given the size of pull. There's nothing like this in here. This is just how big can you pull.
Do you think there's any mechanics that could really get in the way of them doing these chain pulls? I believe the first boss of Utgard Keep has that freeze that potentially could stop the DPS in their tracks, and maybe they do a big pull, but the DPS aren't there. Maybe they're frozen. I don't know if...
It's possible, but I haven't seen that happen so far. Although maybe they were playing it safe when I was there to not give anything away, which is something that's happened this time. It didn't happen last time because they know I share their secrets somewhat. Or do I? Is it me?
Now,
how do they know?
I did peek on someone's rehearsal training session, and I saw this happen. So I'm wondering if it will happen again. Very, very interested to see. Now, Ko, do you remember running this dungeon back in the day? What class were you playing? What was your?
I was a gnome warrior back in the day. You're right. I went warrior because I wanted those instant queues. I was like, no, I'm not waiting for this.
Oh,
I'm gonna run this all day.
And nothing's changed, chat. Nothing has changed. What do you play now, Ko?
Human warrior, because I'm imaginative.
Okay, wonderful. So Utgard Keep, I just remember that first pull in Utgard Keep. Sometimes it went well, sometimes it failed, depending on what happened. Very interesting to see here with these teams. Now, something we did last time with each dungeon is we took a road back to the past to hear just how they were done back in the day. So if you wouldn't mind, strap in, grab some popcorn, enjoy.
Hey everybody, welcome to Project Lore, episode number, I'm not even going to tell you. We're going into Utgard Keep. Now, Utgard Keep is the first instance in the Howling Fjord section, which is basically being controlled by Vrukul. Now, Vrukul are basically the Vikings of the Howling Fjords, of Northrend. They are trying to prove themselves to the Lich King, so they are basically attacking every Alliance and Horde outpost that they can get their hands on. Now, Utgard Keep is their stronghold in the Howling Fjord. So we're going to go in. This is where they're making all their weapons. This is where they're enslaving proto-dragons for their proto-dragon riders, who are bad people that we will soon be fighting. And also, this is where one of their main commanders is basically sending out these forces into Northrend to do what they think is the bidding of the Lich King and hopefully gain favor from the Lich King. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy a taste of Wrath of the Lich King.
Hey everybody, it's Alexis from Project Lore. Guess what? It's finally here. As you saw this week, the team showed us some ridiculously amazing content from Wrath of the Lich King beta.
That is freaking unbelievable. One of the things that they really did, which is great, is they did do a graphical enhancement. The fire coming out of there looks like fire.
That looks like steam fire, you know what I mean? Like Half-Life.
Yeah, exactly.
Half-Life 2 type.
I'm actually out of mana. Or close to out of mana.
Come on,
okay,
Lau.
we're doing
Come
good.
on,
We're
baby.
doing good. Come on, baby. Here we go.
Goggins.
I'm in a tomb.
I
I
know,
can't drink a potion, please.
I have nothing else.
There. Come on, here we go. Do 'em.
Destroyer.
I'm silenced and getting attacked.
And
Oh,
yes! Don't loot her
I'm
until I
ice-blocked.
get back.
Wait, we'll res you.
That's all right. Nice work.
Just don't loot.
Nice.
Fitness, what I'm thinking of. You just got rickrolled.
Okay, welcome back. We are almost ready to go. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's really cool seeing those sort of blast from the past videos. And Ko, I know you like them a lot. What is it about seeing that sort of stuff that sort of brings back the memories, I suppose?
It's how it used to be, right? It's just used to, people did get rickrolled. I'm very sorry. But it's kind of part of how long ago it was. People have forgotten about rickrolling. There were plenty of other things. Don't worry, you're not gonna get memed. I'm not sorry. No, this is true. You're not gonna get memed anymore. That was just the one. But that's how long ago it was, right?
Yep.
It was the other one that I found was Dramatic Chipmunk. Apparently, was also this time.
Okay, I'm too young for that. So I can't remember.
How old are you?
I'm only 21. Right, so Co, we're moving forward here. We are getting started any second now, but I do want to let you know that if you are in chat today, you could win yourself a wondrous wave whisker if you're on EU. Just exclamation mark ticket in chat, I believe. Exclamation mark ticket. I believe you can only enter once. I know Co, I saw you there trying to get more tickets.
Let's see. Only one.
Only one, okay. We also have a new merch drop for Starship. You can check that out down in the description below. And of course, our wonderful Discord community. You can go check us out. It's discord.gg/StarshipEU, but there's a link somewhere, I know, below in the description and in chat. We are almost ready to get in. Co, how are the teams looking? Are we almost ready to start?
I think they should be. Let me just absolutely make sure.
Okay.
I'll send them all a message saying, let's go. Much like the Formula One, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. While Co is away, getting all that together, I do want to say we are honored to be featured, be a featured community on Raid.io. This week, we are taking over the front page all the way through to Wednesday. Absolutely incredible. Thank you, Raid.io. Monday and Tuesday, we'll be featuring a guest streamer from our community, the wonderful Bear Adventures. And if you were here for the Transmog last event we did, Bear was with us, and what a wonderful, wonderful person to be able to stream for our community. Very, very excited. Do check out Bear's Adventures on Raid.io Monday and Tuesday. Co, tell me, can we get this underway?
Yes, they all have the message. They all should be running. So just let's go through the teams and see.
Okay, we're going to cycle through teams. Okay, here we are. On screen, we've got a couple of the teams. I do want to point out really, really quickly, the bottom right corner here, double bacon and haggis. That pig in their chat cover is kind of scary. Kind of a weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It is, but maybe that's why you love them. Maybe that's why you love them.
Right, let's have a quick peek on. This is the team with no tank, I believe. We've just got
This is the one.
Yeah, this is a team with no tank. We've got the first pool coming through now. Wonderful to see the Holy Priest. Co, as you know, I'm a big fan of the Priest. Main one myself. I'll keep going on about them until the end of the earth, but here we are. Pool here, the Priest. Coming out with that Holy Nova, of course, doing that damage. They're doing a kind of smaller pool. What do you think about this?
I think it's just part of what you have to do when you're running the three that you have of not having a tank. You have to split it up into, okay, you pull X amount, I pull this amount, and have the priest going in between, maybe trying to keep everyone up. But just falling, I guess maybe the speed then gets a bit all over the place. You're not always together, so you have to try and get the timings right, and maybe that then becomes, over the course of 4 or 5 runs, you find that blessed run. But every now and again, you leave yourself with more chance for something wrong.
Exactly. Or maybe you find your groove, right? You find, okay, if we do this and this and this, we can shave a few seconds off here. Of course, we mentioned our weak aura we had created up in that top right corner. You can see the time, the dungeon, and also the bosses. As they kill the bosses, you'll be able to see them there. We're going to head over to our dark horse of the competition here, the underdogs, which we've not seen before. Sicarius. Let's see with this. Sorry, Coach.
I was just saying this is much more of the standard competition, as you were saying earlier. So, but you can see now what I was saying, just how much can you pull and just take it all to the first boss. Yeah. This is the standard strat.
There's something about the Paladin in general. They're just a jack of everything. They've got jack of all trades. They've got all these tools, all these ways to not only help themselves, but help the party. So I think this is a good pick. I think this is a big pick, having this Protection Paladin leading the charge. And here we go to the first boss. Now, this is something that I mentioned before about the freeze on the DPS. If they choose to carry on, it could be a problem. It looks like they're staying still here with the group and going to finish them off.
Let's see if they have the damage or if anyone gets slightly unlucky, but it just looks like he's able to keep himself up. I thought that Guardian Druid was going to be the masterful self-healer, but it looks like Paladin's got... Oh, he's got stunned in it, though.
Oh, my goodness. And is that the death? That's our first death of the competition. Sikaris, the underdog. We have a death, the Protection Paladin. I'm sorry, I think I cast a curse to you with that. But hey, this is the first run. They're going to learn from it. Maybe a cooldown here or there changed. I'm going to head over now to Goblin. Of course, with our wonderful community.
Curse again. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, it's falling apart as a shambles. Now,
Can you make it 3 in a row? Change again. I want to see more people in teams.
The good, the bad. It looks like they've reset, though. Was that a death?
It does look like that.
So we're going to watch...
I think... Oh?
Yeah, we're going to watch the start
Did that drop
here.
for you?
Co, hey, I just think we're so excited, both of us, that we're all over the place here. There's lots of deaths happening. I'm very concerned, I'm going to have to say. First dungeon, lots of deaths on the first boss. However, there's, we've got another 25-ish minutes to go. They could work it out right. They could make this work.
Yeah, they're absolutely going to make this work out. And the only thing that they have to be careful of, once again, 2 hours in all dungeons, is they don't want to hit the reset limit. And then just have to sit there until the dungeon limit expires. So you can't wipe on the first boss over and over and over again, right? At some point, you have to just get a time and commit to it. Which I was kind of surprised. Maybe that I'm not sure if Sicario decided to reset or they decided to res. If I were them, I would have just resed it, but we'll see what happens if they actually reset or not.
Now let's follow the good, the bad, the ugly to the first boss here. They did pull this mob on the left, which is probably not the best. We've got a slow coming out on the Shadow Priest, not what they want. The Shadow Priest needs to be with them to provide that damage to boost them up here. But they're heading through now to the first boss. It looks like they're line of sighting and going to try and finish them off. The Shadow Priest again is not casting. I don't think this is good. Okay, it's coming out. They're trying to heal, keep up. They're playing it a bit safer, Co. It looks like. They're not going all the way to the first boss like they did the first time.
Well, if you remember from last time with Ramparts, we had that problem where DPS were kind of starting their damage before you got to the kill zone, which sometimes when you see the tank's health just yo-yoing, maybe you're tempted to do it. I think just doing this, especially as a first run, maybe you calm the nerves, maybe you get into your groove, as you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Dominate Mind, they're coming up. That's the first time we've seen that in one of the events as well, which is why I was saying that priests have some tricks that maybe the shaman doesn't have this time.
Very, very interesting. Lovely to see that come out as the Guardian here takes all this damage. Let's see if they can keep themselves up, unlike the Paladin, I might add. But hey, they had more mobs on them, of course. But it looks like this is going to be clean. However, the time is slow compared to what we thought was going to come out.
Yeah, and the tank got frozen again. I like how, by the way, you said you're not going to flame anyone, and 2 minutes in, you're flaming teams.
I did say I was going to flame, because of course I do raid with a lot of these people, and I want them to pass loot to me. But of course, in the moment when they do things like this, you got to say how it is, of course.
It seems like they're just taking this Runecaster for a walk with them at the minute. I wonder if that's a strategy just to leash him through and he has some mechanic that makes something really easily skippable, or if it's just the fact that they couldn't be bothered to kill him and they take him to the next zone. I'd be interested to see. Maybe he has something that he gives them.
Yeah, and maybe we'll hear from them later. They can let us know. I do want to get over to Dead on Arrival. The team, of course, without the tank. Wow. So we're on 5 minutes 46, creeping up now. They seem to have got through without a tank, Co. What's going on?
I think what's going on is just absolutely spamming everything with pets, and it seems to be a solid strategy. Maybe in some of them it's slightly slower, but it seems like everyone is self-sufficient. You're not relying on anyone else to do something. You're just taking it. Not necessarily slow, but you're taking it at a more consistent speed rather than massive pull spike.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that has a benefit at the end of the day.
And I know they were a little concerned going into this today. Dead on Arrival, they were concerned with, hey, we don't have a tank. Can we keep up? We don't have these pieces of the puzzle. We're not sure what we can do here, but it looks like they are doing very, very well. Again, the Holy Priest, I'll keep going on about it. They're with the top DPS and top healing. MVPs. I want to have a look here, the split view, and see what teams are doing. It looks like we've got Sicarius on the last boss as well. And we've got Double Bacon and Haggis. They're heading back to the start of the dungeon.
What was the time on Double Bacon and Haggis?
Double Bacon and Haggis. Let's have a quick look here.
5 minutes 7?
5 minutes 7. Wow.
My goodness. That's
Wow.
one hell of a time. Well done, guys.
Yeah, super nice time. So it looks like here when they reset, I do want to hone in on Double Bacon and Haggis and see what their strat is, because it's something that we didn't highlight in the first run here. Interesting name as well. I wonder where it comes from. Not quite sure.
Really? You don't know?
No, tell me.
It's about countries where they're from.
Okay.
They have one Scot, and then Zippy isn't. I don't think Zippy's a Dane, but maybe he's a Dane.
Well,
is he?
Yes, and we've got here the Haggis, the Scotsman, of course, is Brobear, who has re-rolled. Now, Brobear is very interesting. Brobear, of course, is the Death Knight. He brings a lot of strengths, but also, lots of weaknesses. I have to say this. Last time, our friend cast Soul well during combat, which we thought was quite interesting. I'm not sure what he's going to bring on the Death Knight. I've never seen him play a Death Knight. I've healed him a lot.
He certainly can't bring health stones, so that's one less thing to worry about.
Exactly. He can't bring health stones, but hey, he can bring that South heal. And let's see if he uses it well. It looks here like the Guardian is just pushing through to the first boss, and we're going to see what sort of damage comes out. It's wonderful to watch Zippy's UI because he does our job for us. On the right-hand side, we can see the damage of the deaths, the damage taken, the healing done. Let's hope that deaths column stays empty for them. In this run.
For us, maybe we want to see it fill up, but yeah, for their own sake, then absolutely we want to keep it as nice and clean as possible. And let's see if the caster curse comes through again.
So here we go again. We've got Zippy picking up all the mobs, heading over toward the boss. The freeze will come out very soon. If it gets put on the tank, that's going to be interesting. Of course, the DPS can help with that, but we'll see if they are aware, knowing Brobear, potentially. So here we are. It's coming out. They're going to carry on to the next pack, maybe? Or he's just picking up the ads quickly?
Boss, there goes the boss. 1 minute 31,
goodness.
1 minute 32 almost. And they're just going to skip as much as they can, and off they go to the next one.
I think a lot of this is as well is about placement of cooldowns, maybe using potions correctly in the right spots to get that max DPS at the correct times. Not just spamming out as much damage as possible randomly, but it looks like they've honed in on the correct places to avoid mechanics like we saw there, and to get to the next pack quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, as we were saying slightly earlier as well, well, there's one leap of faith. There's a good use of it. Not only is it about damage cooldowns, it's also about movement cooldowns, especially for a dungeon that's this big and you're using both at the same time. You just have to just keep a constant speed and just keep going, keep pushing. But then it's also, once you get to that point, where do you stop? Where do you then consolidate to move on? Do you do it? Do you just have enough damage to move and damage at the same time? As we have Debilitate, which is a pretty horrible move to have here.
Holy. So very, very interesting here. You talk about movement. We've got the Demon Hunter, of course. We know super movement. But it's interesting how they've not done the strat of mounting and running straight through to the boss. They have elected to kill mobs on the way through. I don't know if that was a mistake. It's not maybe how I would approach this. What do you think, Ko? What would you do here?
I think you have the mobs in the room before, right? So I don't know how the timing would work. I assume they've probably worked it out where they can just chain all those mobs and they have to kill them anyway, rather than statically kill them, get up top, then mount, then go. Perhaps it's something that they've just skipped. Perhaps it's something that they think with the amount of movement CDs they have, it just works out as quicker because they have the shaman to give the totem, they have the DH, they have the druid. Maybe they can just get through with what they have. Yeah.
I just want to let people know watching at home, when we do go on to Goblin, the UI can be confusing. So I'm going to explain it to you right now. So the health bar actually fills up with the color of the class. That means they're dying. Just to let you know I got confused when I saw it the first time, so here we are. But of course, on the last boss here, they're looking at an okay time. It looks maybe 50 seconds away from the fastest, 40 seconds away from the fastest we've had. Which I think is interesting.
5:35.
Yeah, 5:35.
So ends up, yeah, as you said, being 22 seconds slower than Double Bacon, who's currently seemed to have the best time. But I will ask all the teams if at the end to send me what best times they had in case we missed any, and we'll work it all out as we have about just short of 20 minutes left of Utgard.
Yeah. And here we've got the good, the bad, the ugly. I do want to see their first boss, because I don't think we've seen this team yet on the first boss. So we're going to head through here and have a look. Now, they're doing that similar pull where they try and bring everything as fast as possible to the first boss. Nothing too crazy yet we've seen. Of course, we've got that dominant mind we've seen used, but nothing too flashy yet.
No, I think this is just part of the setup, which we have to go through. But I think that, yeah, he has Feather, and I think there's also expected the Body and Soul to have lots and lots of movement on demand, not only for yourself, but also for your party. So that's another reason why Priests kind of look like they might be edging it this time over the Shaman, which has superior damage, and also racials seem to play a bit more of a part in this one, as you see Darkflight as the Worgen Priest here, giving even more movement as we keep hammering on that point.
Well, of course, I love the fact that you say priests are taking over. That's something that I agree with wholeheartedly. And talking about the Body and Soul, if anyone's new, Body and Soul, when they use their shield on an ally or themselves, they get that bit of a movement speed boost. And as Ko has said, that movement speed is really, really important here. And then lastly, on the races, hey, I picked Goblin because that Goblin rocket jump is phenomenal. I don't know if we've got any Goblins priests, but there's something else there. It's definitely all about this movement speed, because as we know, these classes deal a lot of damage just by the fact that they are really well geared to this content. Let's add that extra edge of movement as we're going on
Just
about.
trying to work this out. Have they done Dominate Mind to get that fire shield?
Potentially, although I think it's.
Or is that something different entirely? Because now they have another one of their party members. Is it on the tank? And maybe it's doing some reflect damage. I am not quite sure how that's working. Maybe they found some super interesting strat, but currently their best time is 7:03. So
okay, so we'll stay on these. We'll stay on the good, the bad, and the ugly, just to see if they can beat that time, because that sounds like a really slow time.
Comparatively, yeah, but once again, this event is one of these things where you're watching it and you're thinking, yeah, okay, it's easy, it's old content. And like, to be fair, it's not exactly the hardest content in the world, but still doing it on stream when you have the pressure of people watching for prizes, it's people you know, you've put in the time and some effort into doing it, you still have that jeopardy. It's half an hour is not a long time to do it as well.
It's not. However, on the flip side of that, it also leaves for an incredible last 10-5 minutes of teams pulling something new out the bag, as we saw with our recap. Maybe a new strat that they're like, oh, we haven't practiced this, but I've heard it potentially could be good. Let's try it. Let's try and throw everything we can at it. And maybe we'll see something like that here.
Well, I know there's one. I'm not quite sure if any team's going to do it, but there's a way in Ankahet of going from the start to the end boss in about 20 seconds. I don't know if any team's going to do it, but it's super sweaty, and I want to see if that comes out the bag later on.
Oh my goodness, I'm sure we'll see a lot of sweat as we go through the dungeons today. I do want to point out, if you are new to the channel, new to the stream, welcome. This is the race to World Worst. We've got here 5 teams battling it out in 4 dungeons to try and run the fastest time. We've just got teams of 3 to try and add that extra edge. They are fighting for prizes. We've got War Within Heroic Edition for the first place. Second and third, we got pets and all sorts of other collection giveaways. And so thank you to Blizzard for all of those. And lastly, if you are in chat, you could win yourself a Wondrous Wave Whisker mount today by typing !ticket in chat. You can only do it once though. It's a golden ticket. So type it really, really well if you can. I don't know how you could type it better.
The harder you hit the enter button, the more chance you have of winning. Yeah. That's how it works.
Exactly. So here we have the good, the bad, the ugly, heading through to the last boss here on this last gauntlet on the way. It looks like they're just running through again with that Dominant Mind minion, the Bone Crusher, next to the priest here, heading through to the last boss. I wonder what I wonder what that gives to the group, having this Bone Crusher there.
It seems like it's giving a shield, but the thing that I'd be more worried about is they don't seem to be pulling big enough, and they don't seem to be using enough movement cooldowns, because when we were watching some of the other groups, they're just a bit more... They wouldn't worry if this straggler, they wouldn't go back for it. They just keep going forwards, and the straggler will come to them. I think that's probably one of the ways that they could do a bit of a quicker time here, because it's almost 6 minutes by the time they've got to the boss, and as we said, Double Bacon and Haggis currently the winning team with 5 minutes 7, so they've got some time to make up.
As we first started on Sicarius, it looks like they're about to zone back in, and I think this is really interesting to watch. We watched them right at the beginning. We watched the Paladin run straight toward the boss and die. So I want to see what adjustments they've made. It looks like they're resetting and they're going to head back in. I want to see what different pull they're going to do. This is a point. Let's look at these transmogs. I'm a fan of this fire set for the druid. Big fan. What would you go for?
I'm all about plate gear and shininess, so I'm all about this paladin. I think his transmog's fantastic. He's a lot better than mine, I have to say.
Well, my transmog in game is just noggin fogger. I like to be a skeleton, and a skeleton only.
To be fair, we talked about this before, and I wholeheartedly agree with you. But
Yes.
sometimes I just don't want to bother myself with going and filling up my bags with 1,000 noggin foggers. So
That is true, but I would say that's exactly what I bought the last time I was there, 1,000. And I'm still going through them 2 months later, so there we are.
This is why we're co-casting friends.
Yeah.
What can I say?
That's the one. Right, we're going to head through here. As we can see, the Balanced Druid is kicking out the most DPS in this group, and interestingly, the Paladin second. I suppose it's those big pulls and the Avenger Shield sort of hitting everything, and the Consecration. But here we go again. We're going to go through to the first boss, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the Paladin doesn't die.
Well, I think that just, as we've said, this team seems to be about the big risks and really just going, screw it, let's see if we can do it. And this is coming through again. Maybe with a leap of faith to get him to the next mobs as well. That's an interesting strategy to get through the dungeon a bit quicker.
Yeah.
He's just, the health bar is a resource. He doesn't have to be 100%. Right? Somewhere between 1 and 99 means you're using it properly.
Co, you sound just like me in Raid when I'm healing and people are complaining when they're on 3%. I said, are you dead? No. So we're going to go forward. Now, there's something I want to talk about here is the tank. What are you thinking when you've done the first pull and you die and you've got a priest and a druid standing next to you who have heals and they've decided, hey, tank's going to be all right, and they let you die? Is your faith sort of shaken? Or is the holy, this paladin full of light, do you still keep faith in your team?
I mean, I love the RP, but I'm not smart enough to do it. So, I mean, I'll just say, nah, I'm all right, mate. I'll just
wonderful. Hey, Co, you should come to some of our late night mythic dungeon running. We RP a lot. Anyway, moving forward here on the first boss, we're going to pick up these ads, and then we're going to head straight there. We're going to see if the paladin gets frozen again, and if their team really helps them out or not. And here we are moving over, and we've engaged. Let's see if they can get them down.
Just to quickly add to this, we have a new time from Double Bacon and Haggis who took 5 seconds off, so they're now 5 minutes 2 seconds.
Oh my goodness, they're the time to beat.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to go and watch them for the next run, as we have just around 10 minutes left now of the first dungeon. I still don't have a time from Sicario, and a couple of others have only given me 1 time, so we'll see how that goes.
We'll head over to Double Bacon and Haggis. It looks like they have adjusted Sicarius, and they can kill that first boss now, thank goodness, because that would have been awkward. And here we've got them resetting and going in. This is our leading team, as far as we're aware, of the dungeon run so far. And they're going to head straight through. I wonder what it is.
Show us how it's done.
Yeah, show us how it's done.
Looking forward to the sitting back, relaxing, and watching the masters at work. Sub 5 minutes, what do we think?
I think so. I think they'll squeeze a bit more. I know if Bro Bear, the unholy Death Knight, if he just squeezes a little more damage out, as I believe he can, then they'll do well. But it looks like their damage has been quite high through this dungeon, getting those bosses down very quickly.
Oh, to be able to do around 5 minutes in this is kind of where it's at, isn't it, really? Yeah. I guess they just decided that with with the amount of dots and diseases they can spread, it's not really capped, is it? Because it's diseases on one single target and you can spread it. Then they may as well just pull as big as they can, and the bigger you pull, the more damage you do. So it just seems like Zippy's just decided, you know what, I will pull everything in the instance. This is a fantastic use of cat form and sprinting, and
wonderful,
really utilizing his movement ability, which is probably the difference between this group and the other ones with Druid so far.
Yeah. Saying that, we have the Unholy Death Knight. He has caught up, thankfully, here, dealing damage finally, and Zippy again using the shields and healing from the Guardian Druid and heading over to the first boss. And let's see.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, just interesting to see the damage here on this first boss. Sorry, Ko.
Okay. Now I was just going to say, as the tentacle comes out, this is fantastic. This is from Oldbar, Yogg-Saron tentacle. I think that was the drop from there. They specifically chose to go priest with DK, and they moved. This is the first. I was thinking, why does no one just go and sit on this door? But they've done it fantastically. They specifically went priest with DK because the priest can give movement speed to the DK to make sure that they can keep going. It's a fantastic choice, and it's clearly paying off for them.
Yeah, wonderful teamwork, and that's something that I specifically look for, is how the classes interplay with each other. They're not just playing what they think is the best, they're playing what they think is the best together, which I think is really, really interesting. And again, Zippy not even going below 50% health through this dungeon, just really cycling those cooldowns like a good Guardian here. Let's see if they're going to cat form. Oh, yep, got the roar there, heading through up the stairs. Really, really clean.
There's no stopping this train.
No stopping at all. As they head up to the top of the stairs, and then the last gauntlet toward the boss. The time at the moment, 2:21. I wonder if...
It's an amazing time so far.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if they can beat their time.
What I should do for the next iteration of this add-on is have it compared to the best time ever, so you can have split times. That would be something for me to add in for next time.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're watching this and you think, what is this? I can do a lot better than these guys. Jump into our Discord GG slash what is it? Remind me.
/Starship EU.
/Starship EU. There we go. Teamwork there. We finish each other's sandwiches, right?
Yeah.
And
then
we're gonna have sign-ups open.
Okay, I can't do it.
Go on, you do it. You're the proper host.
I was trying to finish a sentence, but it didn't work.
Oh, we're not on the same wave.
No, go for it, Ko.
God, mate, I'm doing all your work for you. And we have sign-ups. We're gonna have sign-ups open for the next season of this. We're trying to get it open and available as soon as possible. Max amount of teams is 8, so you've got to be quick. Head over to the Discord and make yourself known, and we'll see what we can do for you.
Yeah, we'd love to have you part of the community and part of competitions like this. We can win some incredible prizes. You could win the War Within Heroic Edition, and that sounds fantastic. It sounds like, hey, we're going to save a bit of money. We can buy some more WoW tokens, and we'll be ahead of the curve real quick, right? That's how it works.
Yeah, you can spend those WoW tokens on boosts, right? That's exactly what I would do.
All right, Ko, you're a bit of a PvPer, aren't you?
For my sins, yeah, I am. Yeah, I actually PvP with quite a few guys on these teams. Yeah. So, although Zippy never wanted to PvP with me, he's too good.
No, he's too he's just a druid in PvE.
Yeah, absolutely. But 4 minutes 15 coming down here, 45 seconds to kill the boss. What do we think?
Maybe. I'm just kind of curious about the RP in the middle of the boss. I'm not sure they'll be able to do it, because I believe the RP is about 10 seconds-ish.
We'll find out in a sec. It was 4:28 when he finally succumbed to the feral rage there. See, I'm learning how to RP.
Yeah.
And we'll see what time he pops back up again. It should be soon, and they'll have, what, 10 seconds to kill him? Stage 2? Oh, Zippy has the add-on for us. Oh, what a genius.
I believe it's about 20 seconds. So here we go. Let's see how much damage they can pump out. They've literally got 5 seconds. 4. Can they do this? Oh, no. Unfortunately. Oh, wait. Oh, they beat it by 1 second. Holy.
Oh my goodness. 5 minutes, 1 second.
That is absolutely insane. Right, we're heading over here to Dead on Arrival. They're heading through to the... they've just killed the first boss. We'll actually get the split screen here. We'll get a couple of the teams up to see what's going on. We are coming very, very close to the end of the runs. They've probably got one run left in each, right, Co?
Absolutely. Well, our cutoff is 8:30, so once again, it's an absolute hard cutoff. If they are killing the last boss as the clock for me turns 8:30, then it doesn't matter. The time doesn't count.
Yeah. Okay. So we have double bacon and eggs. Double bacon and eggs. double bacon and haggis resetting, but I think they're probably a bit too late to continue. Looking at the two groups here, it's Goblin D's Nuts and Sicarius. They're the teams we're going to be looking at. I'm going to have a quick look at Goblin here, going through and see if they can finish in time. They're on 1:47. Pretty decent time, I think, compared to the other teams.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they quite have as many mobs chasing them through as Zippy's, so I wonder if there's something... oh, there's got a couple there. I wonder if that's something that they stopped a bit earlier to finish some mobs off than Zippy's team did, but we'll see what happens here as they get towards the gauntlet.
Yeah. This gauntlet...
Oh, no, second boss, I'm sorry. Where are they? Gauntlet. There we go.
Gauntlet, yeah. And they're on 2:19. I think this is actually quite good, to be honest. If they can get to the last boss, I mean...
As long as they don't keep stopping, as long as they just go. This is the last run, so they may as well.
And remember, there is no reason really that they have to stop at the end here and kill the mobs. They can drag them all the way to the boss, and they've got the team to be able to do that. We've got the Ghost Wolf out from the Resto. We've got the speed, of course, from the Druid. And this Demon Hunter can just dash.
Is this going to be our ramparts of this version? Are they going to pull it out right at the end? They got the last boss in 3
I really
minutes.
do. This is absolutely insane. We saw the best time of 5 minutes 1 second, but this one can be bigger. We've got 3 minutes 2 seconds on the clock. We've got the mobs coming down the gauntlet, but it looks like they're going to phase in very, very soon. And this is very clever. Within intermission, you finish off the other mobs.
Oh, was that me or you that dropped? I don't know who dropped.
Ooh.
Chat, tell us.
Yeah, who dropped?
But 3:20, they're going to be able to smash this time unless someone dies here. This is going to be minute off.
Absolutely insane. I'm very curious to know what skip there is in the middle, and I'm sure we'll get to talk to one of them at some point to tell us what happened here. But this is very good.
Maybe I don't...
Oh, I think Co dropped out. I'm sure we'll get Co back in a second.
But the time...
Oh, you're back. You're back with us, Co. Wonderful. Ready for the last few seconds here. We've got 3 minutes 49 seconds, and it's just very good. It's very good time. Wow. Wow. There it is. Wonderful time here on Goblin D's Nuts. We're coming into the last 2 minutes now, and I think
something went wrong. I think that's a 5:53. You can see he had a timer on his mini map as well. I think maybe something went wrong.
Maybe
so sadly, no, they baited us. They baited us.
It's the hard bait, the real hard bait. Now I'm going to go over to Sicarius here. They've got maybe 2 minutes left. 3 minutes 35, 36 on the timer. They could finish it in time, but this is quite a slow one, I think. With this Paladin that I hyped up at the beginning of this competition. I thought, hey, this Paladin is going to give us something great, but maybe Utgard Keep is not their dungeon.
Wait, is it the Paladin? Is it the group?
Who knows? Who knows? But
who knows?
But then again, it depends how much these teams have practiced, right? I'm sure we'll talk about this after Utgard, but if you've practiced a specific dungeon a lot to just try and get the win on that one, that might be why some dungeons are underperforming here.
Well, this is true. All I know right now is Sicario need a time. Any time. I don't have a time for them at all. So they have a minute now to get to the boss and kill it, or they're gonna have no time. This is where the hard limit comes.
Yeah.
This is on my clock, so no one else's. They currently now have 45 seconds to kill this boss, or no time gets registered.
Now they're doing the strat that I would have done, and it looks quicker to me, just mounting and heading through, but here we go, starting on the first boss at 4 minutes 44 seconds. The time is running down on Co as well. The cutoff point is coming very close. Let's see how much damage they can get out. I don't know here. It looks like...
They're not, I don't think they're going to do it. They have 25 seconds left. I think this is maybe the blessed run they were looking for, but it came too late for them.
Yep. Came too late, and unfortunately that first run really foreshadowed what was to come for this team. They are trying very hard. Co, what we've got left on the time?
Unfortunately, I have 5 seconds left, so this run is done. It's done, boys.
Unfortunate. Right. Welcome back, everyone. That was Utgard Keep. The first 30 minutes of this competition have already some turns and swings we had at the beginning of deaths very early on, which we weren't expecting. Maybe they were just... There's lots of energy running around, right? This is a big competition, trying to win these things. But Co, do we have final times?
Yes, so the slowest is going to be Sicario with no time, unfortunately for them. Followed by Goblin with 6 minutes. Followed by GBU. Oh my god, my head's completely gone.
The good, the bad?
Good, bad, the ugly. Yeah, sorry, I've got shorthand writing. This is why you don't write things down on paper, folks. 6 minutes 39, so no points for them. Goblin then with, then Dead on Arrival with 1 point with 5 minute 58. Goblin with a 5 minute 40 with 2 points. Double Bacon and Haggis with a 5 minute 1 second run, giving them 3 points.
So if you are following this competition at home, are your favorites winning? Are they winning, or are your favorites in the last place? The underdogs are still the underdogs running into the last 3 dungeons here. I'm very curious to see what they'll pull out. And as we mentioned before, you don't know what they've practiced. Have they practiced the Nexus more? Have they practiced Gundrak more? We'll see very, very soon. Now, Co, the next dungeon, what have we got? Gundrak, I believe.
Next one is Gundrak. Absolutely. The next one is Gundrak. It's a lot shorter. It's a lot more about just getting things dead.
Yeah. So a lot of damage very quickly. We've already seen Double Bacon and Haggis very good at doing this. So of course, Gundrak in Northrend. We're really going across the map here. I like it. Different color schemes, different themes. It's good to see. Right, so this one is going to be big. As you say, lots and lots of damage needs to be put out very quickly. We're just waiting on the teams to get to the dungeon. But before we get there, of course, we need to have our retro look at what it was way back when.
Project Lore, episode number 16. On this episode, we're going to be going into Gundrak. Now, Gundrak is the capital of the nation of Zul'Drak on the eastern side of Northrend, which is the home to the Drakkar tribe of ice trolls. Now, these ice trolls are a very old race that have held back the Scourge for the most part, but they have recently gone mad due to their attempts to gain power by killing the animal gods that they worship, also known as Loa spirits. So, we're going into Gundrak to find out what exactly is going on with these trolls and take them out. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Project Lore. This bad boy is all about AoE, and just not tons of them.
So, but 3?
3 to 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sladran, High Prophet of Ceratos.
So this is the first boss.
What?
Okay. So basically, either way, it's still just sort of a Zerg. All right, let's go.
Vanity.
Here I go, pulling.
Spec.
Game on.
Stick on the end. Here we go. We got our first.
Attacking me. More of them attacking me.
Okay, we got.
We're supposed to.
We gotta help out.
You gotta Zerg that thing.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
You were in the poison
I
cloud.
think you got Nova.
Yes, that was what I was supposed to look out for.
I'm dead too.
I'm gonna die soon.
Okay, I don't understand.
So what was the strategy?
I don't understand what just happened.
Was I supposed to peel off and...
Yumi Lao.
I'm dead. We almost had him.
You and you.
How did you go back all the way up to like 1,000 health?
I have no clue what just happened right there. None at all.
Excellent, wonderful. Well, hey, Gundrak, we're about to head into Gundrak very, very soon. Co, are the players ready?
I just have 1 point of order before we go, because we had a bit of a mix-up with timing. Sicario did actually post 3 times, and one of them gets some points. So to go from the fastest to slowest, Double Bacon and Haggis, 5 minutes 1. Goblin 5:40, Sicario 5:43. So that would be the fastest times. They were posting it in the wrong place where I wasn't looking.
Well, hey, if you were supporting them, they just moved up the rankings a couple places and got some points. That sounds wonderful to me. Right, Gundrak. Before we head into Gundrak, I do want to point out a couple of things very, very quickly. Of course, very important, we are raising money for Safe in Our World, a wonderful charity. You can donate below. It's a wonderful way for us to connect and give back as well with our big community. So thank you for that. Next, we have multiple giveaways in our Discord with some really cool prizes available. We have a Blizzard Epic Edition for the War Within, a game code. So that giveaway is happening right now. And Gamer Advantage, we've got a $100 gift card giveaway in our Discord. Of course, you can see it right under Co. If I'm pointing right this way down there, discord.gg/Starship EU. Now, the table has been laid. The positions have been set from the first dungeon, and we're about to get into Gundrak. Co, are we ready to rumble?
We should be just about arriving there sometime soon. So,
okay. Well, hey, Co.
We currently have a bit of a situation with the scores that I'm trying to work out. So, like, something's going wrong crazy behind the scenes.
It's one of those things, chat, as we're watching today. Someone who writes down on pen and paper, there's always problems. Now, Co, I want to talk to you about the T-shirt you're wearing. You had a little in-joke, right? Tell me about it. What's on there?
In-joke? No, it's not an in-joke.
Not an in-joke,
just,
a joke.
I have spoken, right? We are the leaders of this, and what we say goes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just getting into the spirit. There's no messing around. If I want to use a pen and paper, I use a pen and paper. Thank you very much.
Yep. Hey, you have spoken and written as well. Now, we are about to...
life skill.
Yeah, exactly. We are about to get into these dungeons. We've got many, many great partners who have made this all possible. We've partnered with Blizzard for the wonderful prizes. Raider.io, who's featured us on their page. We're very, very thankful. And of course, Zygor Guides, Glitch Energy, Gamer Advantage, Streamlabs, and Safe in Our World. And if it wasn't for all of those wonderful, wonderful companies and charities, we wouldn't be able to make this possible. We are very thankful to them. But hey, we're here to compete. We're here to win prizes. And we are almost ready to get in. Co, are you giving me the green light? Are we good to go?
Yeah, I think we have the green light at least on some of them. Is if someone's got there, then we have two of them there. Three of them there. What Sakara's coming across. So we'll delay for 1 minute more.
Yep.
They've had enough time other than that.
Yeah, we will delay for a minute more, and we can have a look here at Goblin D's Nuts as they are preparing. They got the food down. Of course, they are completely buffing out. They want all the advantages possible. And talking of advantages, Zygor Guides, 20% off code, Starship at checkout, get you 20% off. Let's get you those Lore Master achievements. Let's get you leveling quicker. Head over to Zygor and all their other features. Gamer Advantage, 20% off with Starship at checkout. Glitch Energy, 10% off with Starship EU at checkout. And Streamlabs, you can get $10 off their annual subscription to Streamlabs Prime. I know myself as a streamer, that is a wonderful thing to have. Every little helps when you're starting out. And hey, we've got all those deals for you today. We're very thankful to all the partners, as I've mentioned, but it looks like here, Goblin D's Nuts are ready to head into the dungeon.
Yep, just sending them all, I think, to start now. 8:39 on the dot, half an hour. Let's go.
Wonderful. Okay, 30 minutes, and already we've got presented here a bunch of health bars, these Vipers. Let's see if they knock them down quickly together, or if they're just going to peg it through. There's a word, peg it. I don't hear that much.
I think that means something. It's probably because it means something you don't think it does, to be honest with you.
Okay, moving forward onto the first boss here. Of course, we want to interrupt the transform. Let's see if they even kill the boss before that happens. The Demon Hunter smashing away as always. And the first boss looks like, hey,
it's down already. And now, I know this strat. This is going to be an interesting strat for you to see as well.
Yeah. This is one that we used to do in time walking. Actually, you go here and you go underneath, right? The vent down here.
Yeah, but where's the shaman?
Oh no.
This is our first split run. The restoration shaman goes and solos a boss.
Oh,
it's not with them. Look, if you look on the minimap at the bottom, he's gone to the Elemental dude. He's gone to the Jakari Colossus, and these guys are on the way to Murabi. And let's see what time they get. They've been posting consistently very fast time so far, and that's the smoothest I've seen them actually do that. The hardest part they had was actually trying to find where the grate was, which is
Oh, right. Okay. So the easiest bit to do, that's the hardest for them to find. Okay. Right, here we have on this boss. I don't know why I'm being so toxic today. I have no idea. We're on the boss here.
We're just used to it now, don't we?
Yeah, I guess. Killing very quickly, down to about 80%, 60%. The damage is coming through. Of course, they don't have that shaman with them, but they're off doing another boss. This is going to be very quick. Like, very quick.
Absolutely. I know that another team, I think after this, will switch over to Sicario, because I think they are going to be surprisingly quick, as they started a bit later.
Okay, wow.
I'm not too sure we're going to get a chance to see what they're doing. They're also doing a bit of a doing a bit of a split here. Okay. This isn't the run I was promised, guys. What's going on here?
Do you think they got cold feet?
Possibly. Let's switch back and finish off the time with Goblin to set a high standard, and let's see what they're doing as they're finally crossing the bridge. Okay. These are the mobs that are horrible. These silence you and all sorts of nasty things. This is probably the only place where being a melee has a distinct advantage.
Yeah. So we've got 2 minutes 21 on the clock as they go through onto the last boss up the stairs. They've got the silence out. That's not always a nice thing to happen to you, but I think they're going to get them into a nice little group here. I wonder if they'll pull the boss with them, or if that's too dangerous.
They really hurt. These things really do truck.
But they're doing it.
It's just, I think they want to just get a time down, to be honest. Oh no, they've decided, no, screw it, it's going to go. It's kind of a halfway house between being safe and being fast to get down to half HP and then go for the boss.
Lots of
but
silence.
If they do it, then fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. But those silences coming through are not going to be very nice for this Demon Hunter, but they are doing their best, and it looks like health is pretty good. The Shaman is on 50%, but hey-ho, they'll get themselves up. And, yep, they're just really kicking it through.
Yeah. This is one where, that's a fantastic time, 3 minutes 7. Oh my goodness. This is one where actually having a pet class is going to be really fantastic for you.
And speaking of pet classes...
Oh, it's almost like we planned that, Jesus Christ.
Wow. So we're heading over now to Dead on Arrival, heading through to the last boss here. And of course they don't have a tank, but that Holy Priest, hey, kicking out the damage with the Beastmaster and the pet comp that we spoke about before. We'll just have Kobak in just a moment, but we've got the pet comp coming out here. Again, that Holy Priest dealing the damage. It looks like they're going to go straight to the boss and avoid the mobs on the left. And I think this is a really good option for this group, especially as they don't have a tank.
I'm still here, by the way, don't worry. My camera's just decided it's going to do something
No worries. You've
good.
You've got 25 minutes to get it ready to go, so you're all good. So here we are on the last boss, and they did a really good job of skipping the ad on the left. Really good time, 3 minutes 52. Now this team, again, they were quite nervous coming into this, but it looks like they're pulling out really good numbers. We've got here the double bacon and haggis team. Of course, the players from all over the place, all over Europe, coming together here to form this wonderful breakfast for us all to see. And the druid here picking up the first boss. And let's see what shenanigans they'll pull off as they move on to the second and third boss.
I think the shenanigan here is just massive DPS.
Yeah, massive. And then we've got of course, look at this. It's absolutely outrageous. Druids, man. Druids need nerfs. Going through the grate, of course. And very, very quick heading off. I wonder who's going to solo the boss. I would say the Unholy DK might be a good candidate for that, but we'll see.
I wonder if he's just decided he's going to solo the boss here as a guardian, and the other two are going to go to the other one.
Maybe.
Is there any point in the DK trying to catch him here?
True. I wonder if he stays cat form. Nah, too risky.
I'm just curious what happens. Shay in the corner, okay, everything in front of him. He's got the self heals. Does he have he has probably potions as well. Barkskin proc there.
Yeah.
Still has Iron Fur in the bag.
Can he interrupt this?
Survival instincts as well. Yeah. Maybe he just decides that he just doesn't need to interrupt it. He just face tank the damage.
You would say that they've practiced this before, right? This isn't new. They've done this before. He knows he can do it, right? It's just if they can execute correctly. I'm very, very curious.
There's a Colossus down, but he's on low health, but he still has cooldown, so he looks like he's going to be able to do it.
It's a druid. They've also got he's got his potion ready. He's got all sorts of tools available. Frenzy's up at the moment, and then he's got a big heal as well. he'll be good to go. I just wonder how long it'll take.
Yeah, there
them.
we go. You've got the Shadow Priest managing to get some damage from the bottom.
Oh my goodness!
There we go.
Insane.
What the just jump.
Insane.
He's made
and
it.
Insane.
Just before he got tagged there.
Absolutely insane. And look, they're sitting on 1 minute 57 seconds, and I think they're going to just head straight up that ramp to the boss. And for some reason, Mr. Brobear, he wanted to be tank. I know he is a main tank, and he just can't help himself, but that's fine. The knockback here, ooh, very, very close. Self-heal, though, very good, as they head toward the last boss, which, of course, as we all know, doesn't do a great deal. They'll be able to smash this down very, very quickly.
It's all about the ads, though.
Yeah, you're right, the ads, but they've got that Unholy DK. And the Shadow, I don't know, they've just got all the tools.
He's dropping so far. Oh my god, what a time this is.
Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild.
2 minutes. Oh, guys. Oh my goodness. Call it now. 2 minutes, 38 seconds.
The other teams are in shambles. Speaking of other teams, let's go and have a look. Who have we not seen yet? Let's have a quick look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. It looks like they're doing a reset. And they're going to head into the dungeon now. Should be cool to see the beginning of it. Guntrack, it brings back very fond memories, Co. I played Wrath of the Lich King. I was a Wrath baby, if you will. And, yep, I had my Shaman healer, and I was having a good time.
I'm happy for you. I was not a Wrath baby. I started in Classic with my pen and paper, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
Back in my day, there were no video games.
Or
right?
did they have pen and paper then? Very interesting.
No, we had to make it ourselves at home.
Just you had to chop down a tree and yeah, okay. I'm not sure what's happening here. Maybe they're resetting. Something's going on. So we're going to head over now to Dead on Arrival, the team without a tank. They're about to start the dungeon. They have been pulling in some decent times. They've been doing some of the cool strats too. Now, an interesting thing we haven't really spoken about, Co, is team morale and also team communication. We know a couple of these players really well. We know the communication's good, but maybe morale drops as the competition goes on, and maybe you've got those sort of low numbers, or maybe you're on a high, right? And you're able to pull these big times and you're gassing each other up, much like probably Double Bacon and Haggis is. How big is that a factor?
Yeah, you just never know what's going to happen. The mentality in all competition is a huge part of it. You just never know. Like, let's say Double Bacon and Haggis get 6 points from the first 2 runs, and then you get 0 for the rest. I mean, what's stopping you from winning?
Yeah.
Or from equaling 6 points, and then once, if you have the same amount of points, it comes down to combined times. I mean, at the minute, it looks like Double Bacon and Haggis are way ahead, but as you kind of highlighted on earlier, you don't know what dungeons they've practiced, how well they've practiced them.
Yeah.
And what's they going to do on the day?
You're completely right. And I mean, we've seen some cool strats. Of course, the fastest has been from Double Bacon and Haggis, but here we've got the strat from Dead on Arrival. They're heading through the grate here. Let's see what time they can pull out. They're on 59 seconds, moving on to the second and third boss equally. Of course, we've seen this strat used. I wonder if they knew about this strat before starting to practice, or it's something that's evolved during practice. They're like, oh yeah, we could probably do that skip and we'll save some time.
I think the great skip is probably one of the things that most people would know about. But it's just about refreshing those old memories. For those of us who had it originally or have done time walking somewhat recently, you have a druid, let's say, just off through the grate and away, right? But as we know now, if a druid does that, you just leave them and go solo a different boss. So
yeah, and you're right. There was a time walking very recently. I remember this, that we did this dungeon. And I think it probably helped serve these players well because they got to see the wider community play the dungeons too. So they can leech off of what sort of maybe different strats other people ran and bring it into their own team. So there's a whole thing here of sharing knowledge too, which I think is really interesting. And we start to see as the runs go on, there is a meta. I know we talked about there's not really a meta, but there is a sort of meta that forms with dungeon runs and also team comps too. But the no tank comp, I think, is really interesting, the pet comp.
Yeah, it's super interesting. I'm curious as to see what would happen maybe with different bits of gear. Maybe this isn't, well, it's still a good comp, right? But maybe this isn't the best possible expansion for this comp. If you think about pieces of gear available in other in the classic iteration of this event or TBC. I don't know off the top of my head, of course, and it also depends on how lucky they got with the individual bits of gear, which maybe we'll see later.
Yeah.
I might do some explaining as to why some teams are miles ahead of others at the minute. But I think the comp itself is solid. It's a really interesting idea. I think it's just fascinating to have no tank and see what happens.
Yeah, very, very interesting. And as we see here, teams as well do like to take a moment, maybe to talk through the dungeon, what went wrong. And as you say, we only have 5 runs that they can do within the time. They don't want to get that lockout, so they need to really be intentional about their runs. And if they need to take a second to talk about what happened, they'll take that second. So I think that's what Goblin's doing right now as they get ready for the next run.
Well, Goblin have had a bit of a problem apparently with the what was happening with the add-on, and now they're currently locked out for a bit.
Right.
I think they tried to reset the add-on. I don't know what happened with him to get it to work out, and now they are currently locked out. They have a 3-minute 7. Currently is second best time after 2-minute 38. Goblin with they have the second best time. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with a 3:23. Dead on Arrival with a 3:52, which I think we saw not so far away, not so long ago. So it's just Sicario now to post the time, and we'll have they've got to sit there and cross their fingers.
Yeah. And looking at this now, we've logged back into Double Bacon and Haggis with the death. I wonder why they died. I actually think it was probably on the soloing. Maybe a mistake with cooldowns. Maybe they didn't have something in time. But hey, they've posted a fast time, right? So,
well, they've posted the time that's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. So I don't think that's going to get beaten within the next 20 minutes.
No,
I think that's going to happen.
And a really interesting thing is Double Bacon and Haggis is a new team together. And it's something about synergy as well. I wonder as these competitions go on, and we've got many, many more competitions through the year. And again, like we mentioned before, please, you can sign up now for these competitions, this Race to World Worst, on our Discord, discord.gg/Starship EU. I wonder if these teams will now stay together through the year. If they think, hey, we've put out some really good times as a group, we gel together, we work together, I think we stay together and we just keep pushing and be the team to beat in the next competition.
Well, as you were saying, quite a few of these teams are actually return. Well, 2 of them are, 3 of them even. Sorry, maybe this are returning teams that played together last time, decided they liked each other, and just decided to play just for the fun of it. I mean, obviously they want to win as well. Don't get me wrong, but when you find the team, the mix of people that you like, then why switch? And that's the good thing about our community. And yeah, as you can see in chat, discord.gg/Starship EU. Come and join us as we watch Zippy being a whale.
Yep, exactly. That really, really fast movement speed, which it's just for so many dungeons, especially with these really interesting skips. It helps a lot. And I think it's probably shaving off some time, right? It's probably shaving off a good 15, 20 seconds off what their time limit could be if he was a different class.
Oh, even more, because if you can watch the normal swim speed versus Druid, and then he manages to sprint and he gets some leaps in and all of this, and suddenly you realize, oh my goodness, he's miles ahead. Yeah. Like, I was watching Goblin do this before, and I was hitting 3:20. I was like, oh my goodness, this is a huge time. And then I watched this team, it's 2:38. I just didn't even think that was going to be a possibility for them, as this is the scary bit as the transformation comes through, though.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love the camera angle as well. He's got everything, can see everything. And we've got the Shadow Priest. Again, we'll be able to see the Shadow Priest come down the stairs, I assume, sit in the river and hit the boss. It's just really a wonderful recipe for a great time. And it looks like they should be coming any time now. Zippy's getting quite low here. Let's see if the heal comes out. The Frenzy Regen, and just the basically the lay on hands, right? The priest is down in the river, and I assume we'll be casting. There we go. That's the cast coming out. Absolutely outrageous. And as always, Bro Bear in the river, jumping up and down, not really doing any damage. But there we've got the boss down and heading on to the last boss. I wonder if they can beat their time code.
It's going to be super close. I don't think they're going to be able to. Surely not going to be able to do it from here in 38 seconds.
Maybe not.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, the burst on the boss.
That's a horrible knockback as well.
Yeah. The burst on the boss was pretty good though last time. Yeah,
I'm interested to see where that damage comes from mainly. We see here that the recount is saying that Zippy, the Guardian Druid, is the highest damage done at the minute. Let's see if that sticks through.
Right.
I'd be interested to see if they have priority damage though, and who does the most there.
Let's see. So the Balanced Druid, the Shadow Priest coming out with some big damage. The Unholy is doing okay. A bit of burst coming out, but I suppose the Unholy's damage is sort of directed toward that boss. And then we've got the time of 2 minutes 38.
They've mirrored it. And that's when you think, oh my god, that knockback is annoying.
Yeah, exactly. So this is Sicarius, again, our new team that we've not seen before, especially the players. And I wonder if this is the one that they did not practice. Maybe this is the one where they didn't have time, potentially, and it's one they're like, oh, we'll just deal with it when it comes.
I mean, it's definitely a possibility, because you look at Gundrak and you think, well, I mean, it's not all that, is it? But have they got 1 minute 4? Oh, they still have Marabi to do. I thought they had finished Marabi as well. Ooh, oh, there's a leap of faith, though. That's interesting.
That was very, very cool tech. Lovely. Love to see it. Really good. However, is it going to be enough? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it seems like they put the priest there, but I don't know what the priest would have been doing for the rest of the time. Gone through the vent and then just stood there for them to earn two person, two woman, the boss.
Yeah.
And it seems like a bit of a waste of damage in overall, really.
Yep. So they're sitting on 222. They're not going to beat the time of Double Bacon and Haggis, but remember, it's first, second, and third. And maybe they've thought, hey, let's try and get that second or third place, get some points on the board. That we're not that far behind. We can do this.
Absolutely. You never know what's going to happen. You just keep up there with points, and it soon turns around, even if things don't look so positive for you at the minute. But these guys came in super late into the race. They literally had one reset pretty much to get their gear. So
wow.
To be fair, the fact that they've managed to gear is a miracle, and the fact that they're putting in competitive times is even more miraculous.
Yeah, and I didn't know that fact, and that's really shows just the caliber of player. But unfortunately, they're getting quite low here. The tank is down to 10% health. Also, the Shadow Priest is down to 10. The shield comes out, but unfortunately, the AoE damage is just too much, and they're going to have to reset.
And they died together, though. And also, you might want to have a quick look in chat. That's a £50 donation to sort of Safe in Our World.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
I don't know how to say your first name. Zoysin? Is that how do I say
Zoe.
that?
Oh my goodness, it's Zoe. I know Zoe. Welcome. Zoe's from my community as well, over on Matty Gaming. Thank you, Zoe. We really appreciate that. It's very kind of you. And welcome to Starship. Now, Zoe is an old WoW player, and I'm sure we can entice them to come back and maybe even join the competition in the future. Thank you again, Zoe.
I mean, me and you were looking to run it at some point, so maybe we found a third.
Maybe we found a third, absolutely. I'm sure he'd like that. Right, we are running close to the end of the clock here, down to 2 minutes left, I believe, unless I'm wrong with the time there.
We started at 8:39, so we still have pretty much 10 minutes.
Okay, so they've got maybe 1 or 2 runs left in them, which is good, because these teams need to catch up with the competition. We're going to head over here to the good, the bad, and the ugly as they are about to begin their next run. Again, the mirror of the Guardian to Double Eggs and Bacon, the mirror of the Shadow Priest. However, they're taking the Demon Hunter. They must have thought, hey, this is the one we think is going to be the strongest, or it's just their comfort pick. And I think that's something to talk about. The classes here, this may not be their main. This may not be the class that they've played before. They've picked it up because they heard it strong. What do you think to that? Is it best to go with comfort, or is it best to go with what is known as to be the strongest?
To some extent, this is a bit of a meta discussion, isn't it? Like, when you look at the Guardian Druid now and what it can do, you think, my goodness, what a pick that is. But if you're not comfortable with it, then it can't do it. So, I mean, that's obviously one of the things. Like, as Zippy says in chat, Bear being a comfort pick from him is very lucky because he knows it really well. But also, it's pretty much the S tier tank pick. So he's going to be able to play that and get an extra couple of % out of what he's choosing that maybe someone who is choosing it because it's meta wouldn't be able to get, which is also something to consider. And it's those kind of intricacies that really make up what you pick. I know that when we're talking about Goblin, we're looking at the Demon Hunter here. This is what Adam picked last time, and that's his comfort pick, mainly because he wanted the Warclaves, right? Which he only got the offhand one, but that's a different story. But there will be just meta and non-meta to some degree, and I don't think there's anything that's really that far behind, with the exception of Warrior. Warrior is pretty useless.
Okay, well, in general, I suppose. I just want to quickly mention, I had a quick look at chat, which is not always a great thing to do, but I saw something here, vanilla players for the win. Now, is this some sort of cult, Co? It looks like you've got some fans out there.
I mean, every sentence has to start with "back in my day," right? And that's how I assert my dominance.
Okay.
Of course, I know better because I'm a million years older. No, I mean, I remember back when Wrath Baby was something of an insult, and now it's like, OG gamers Wrath Babies. So, I mean, I just feel old.
Well,
dude, I just feel old.
As long as you can still, your hands and fingers, you can still hit the play button, right? That's the main thing. Looking down at chat
on my DVD, on my DVD player.
What's a DVD player? Who knows? So I'm looking down at chat here. A couple of people, they didn't even test Warrior, probably because of the notion around the fact that it's not strong. And then we've got some here, stop Warrior hate. Unfortunately, no, I don't think we can. They're just not good enough.
Well, Warrior is actually pretty good. The first season of this event was basically just within our community, and the team that won was my good self. Just small flex there. And with Resto Shaman and a Prot Warrior. So Prot Warrior definitely has it in them.
Yeah, I'm sure there are some fabulous Prot Warrior players out there who can definitely do these to a high standard. However, the Guardian Druid was the tank of choice for most of these teams. The Prot Paladin, of course, coming through. And on top of that, not even a tank needed for some of these groups. Now, I'm used to in live, people saying to me, hey, we don't even need a healer, just go DPS. But it's good to see back in the day, it was, we don't even need a tank. So I'm happy to see that. Now, we've got the team here, Goblin D's Nuts, heading on to last boss. Unfortunately, the time, again, is just slightly too slow. Do you think anyone's going to catch up in these last few minutes to Double Bacon and Haggis?
Well, they're going to have to risk it for the next run. They have essentially, it's looking like 5 minutes left now. They may as well just send a run and a Hail Mary and see what happens. Sicaria's queuing up. There's Double Bacon and Haggis. Look at this flying off. This is done.
They're done. That's flexing. Hard flexing. They're getting ready for the next dungeon. We've got here Sicarius. I'm tempted to watch their last run here. It looks like one of their players is struggling potentially to get into the dungeon. I'm not sure why. Maybe they're resetting. But they need to get some points on the board. They did finish 3rd place, though, if I'm not mistaken, last dungeon.
You're correct. Yeah.
So if they can get some more points here, hey, they're in a good place going into the second half of the competition.
Well, I'm not quite sure what's happened here because I don't have any time for them. I'll reach out to them and see if we can get a confirmation of a time from them, and then we can see from there how desperate their situation is. But going into this so far, we obviously have Double Bacon and Haggis in the lead with 2 minutes 38. That looks pretty much unassailable. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with a walking backwards, sorry, is Goblin with a 3:07, and then Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with a 3:23, closely followed by Dead on Arrival with a 3:37. I don't know where Sicarius fits into that.
Well, hey, we're watching the last one here of Sicarius. It looks like all the other teams have headed toward the next dungeon, getting prepared, getting ready, getting their feasts down, eating food. But it looks like Sicarius could pull something out the bag here. I think they need to pull up the strat of the split. If they don't do the split, it's just not going to happen. There's just no way they can do it in time. So let's see what happens here with this Paladin coming down, getting stunned potentially by these fish in the river. But it looks like they'll be all right. Go down the grate. Please go down the grate. Nope.
I'm kind of I'm a bit curious why no one did a strategy of sending one person to each boss, given that you can solo this one with the rest of Shaman. We've already seen that you can solo the Murabi with a Guardian Druid, and surely you can solo the first one with some class or spec or whatever combination. So I'm a bit curious why no one did that. I mean, the rules was that you can't change your character between runs, but you can, there's nothing really stopping you from moving between, let's say, a tank and the DPS if you necessarily wanted to.
Oh, I see. You can change spec.
Well, let's just leave it open for now. I know that we were saying like affliction, you can go affliction demonology.
Right, right. I see.
You could, because if I don't know if you were there for it, I don't think you were. The very first race, Zippy was in. He wasn't in the second version, I don't believe. But the very first one, it was him, Rawley, and someone else as triple protection paladin, I believe.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, it took them like half an hour to finish anything, but it was there.
Hey, they didn't die. So here we are. We've got the grip, the leap of faith up to the top. Wonderful ability. And I think when they cooked this strat, they thought, hey, we think this is the fastest. We think we've cooked something that is going to be faster than anyone else, but they didn't consider the split through the grate, which is unfortunate.
I think they considered the split. It's once again having the strat, but then perfecting it and finding out, okay, we'll split, but then how best do we do it? Which is, I mean, this is the art of speedrunning, isn't it, really? You've got to find those small seconds of, oh, you almost got knocked off, oh my goodness. You've got to find those small seconds, or sometimes, as in the case of Double Bacon and Haggis, minute, basically, to maximize your cooldown usage and pretty much just optimize route.
Absolutely. And what do we have left on the clock, Co?
We have 2 minutes 30 seconds left, so
2 minutes. Okay, wonderful. So this is the last run of Gundrak. We've seen some fun strats coming out, especially from, of course, Double Bacon and Haggis, and other teams having variations of it. But theirs coming out on top with that Guardian Druid being able to transform into the Seal to get through that great fast. And again, we'll reiterate: speed is priority. Speed is priority. That's why, again, I'm a bit confused why I don't have more goblins. You know, I'm going on about the goblin. But hey, here we are on the last boss here. We're looking at 3 minutes, probably 3 minutes 40 for this, if you can get it down quick enough.
It looks like they might get themselves in a bit of a sticky situation. It's pretty low.
Oh.
There's one death.
Oh my goodness, we've got here the Paladin holding on for dear life. Again, we talked about before with all these different tools they have. They kept themselves alive and their teammates, which is good. They potentially
res come out as well.
Yep.
So they've managed to stabilize as the ads go down. They're gonna post the time. Is it gonna be any good though? I don't think so.
Here we have it. 3 minutes 50. Wonderful. Oh, right. Okay, Co.
I still don't have it, but we still have 1:30 left. If it is no one in the dungeon.
No one in the dungeon. Let's have a quick peek. I think everyone's preparing for the next one.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's have a quick
we'll
look around.
We'll have a quick look around.
I'll put my camera back on.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, there we have it, everyone. Gundrak has been completed. The 2 dungeons are down. I do want to remind everyone of the prizes today. We have 3 prizes for first, second, and third. First place, of course, is those 3 War Within Heroic Editions. Of course, our players today trying to find the War Within to get the win. Secondly, we've got the event winner Discord role and badge. What a wonderful display to the community of, hey, we achieved. Second place, 3 BlizzCon collection codes. You get the event runner-up Discord role and badge, which is cool. And third place, the Bright Paw pet codes and the event runner-up Discord role and badge as well. All prizes provided by Blizzard, so we're very, very thankful to them. And to our other partners, it looks like I've got Co back. Hey, Co.
Hi. Yeah, it wasn't Elgato product placement. I don't have any sponsorship with them, unfortunately. I wish I did if you're watching. But I guess that brings us up to half time. So a quick look at the scores. And Double Bacon and Haggis dominating essentially with another 3-point victory, followed by Goblin with another 2 points, so mirroring what happened last time. And the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly getting their first point on the board, which means that going into the half, we have Double Bacon and Haggis on 6 points. We have Goblin on 4 points. And then behind that, we have Sicario and the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly on 1 point each.
Yep. Write that down. Wonderful. Thank you for the score. Thank you for the scores, Co. We really do appreciate your work there on the pen and paper. We are going to go to a halftime break. When we're back, we've got 2 more dungeons. We've got the Nexus, and we've got An Kahet. Wonderful dungeons different vibes. It's going to be great to watch the teams. And hey, they've got halftime now to talk through things, try and cook up something else if they think what they've got is not enough. I'll see you on the other side. To the rest of you all, check the Discord out for all the giveaways. In the meantime, grab yourself a cup of tea, a beer, sit back and relax, and get ready for the next half. We'll see you in about 10. Bye-bye.
The Starship, Race to World Worst, Season 3, is proudly supported by Blizzard Entertainment, Raider.io, Zygor Guides, and is proud to support our partnered charity, Safe in Our World.
If you like Mythic Plus, you'll love Raider.io's two newest features, the Auto Route Creator and the Mythic Plus Replay System, both available for free to everyone right now. Try out the Auto Route Creator to generate your own routes from any live-tracked key on the leaderboards, or test your team's mettle against pros, guildies, your friends, or your own personal bests by starting a replay alongside your real-time run with the Mythic Plus Replay System. Get your hands on both features for free right now on our website and let us know what you think. Until then, we'll see you in Azeroth.
Power level your characters, make lots of gold, and accomplish more in World of Warcraft with Zygor Guides. Our guides are unique in that they use a custom guide viewer add-on to display things right inside the game. Every guide is presented in an easy-to-follow, step-by-step format that tells you exactly where to go, who to talk to, which quests to accept, how to complete quest objectives, and more, all in the most efficient manner to get more done in less time. Since the guides are in-game, they can dynamically detect your progress, update in real time, and automatically skip forward as you complete steps. Finding your way around couldn't be easier thanks to our custom waypoint arrow that works like an in-game GPS, generating the fastest directions to your next location, factoring in every method of travel including flight paths, items, portals, and more. You'll no longer find yourself wondering where to go or what to do next ever again. The guides also include numerous additional features to speed things up even more, like auto-accepting and turning in quests, highlighting the best quest rewards, notifying you when you have new gear upgrades, pointing where you need to fly to on your map, auto-selling gray items, and more. We offer guides for virtually every aspect of the game, including leveling, dungeons, dailies, professions, collectibles, and achievements. Discover all the latest content with our new Featured section, which showcases all the new guides added in every patch and expansion with detailed explanations on how it all works. Or search our entire collection to find a guide for almost anything you want to do. All of our guides have been fully updated for Dragonflight, and new content is being added all the time. Sign up for Zygor Elite and gain instant access to our full suite of guides for both retail and classic WoW for one low monthly fee. As part of Zygor Elite, you'll receive ongoing weekly updates for new patches, future expansions, and seasonal events, as well as general fixes and improvements to make sure all content stays current and well optimized for any changes Blizzard makes. Take your gaming to the next level with Zygor Guides.
Who took the bomb?
My visions are not the same as the others. No radiance, no song. Just the shadow taunting me from below. The fate of our world rests upon the edge of a knife. And our battle lies deep within.
The new year has come and gone, and what a great year it's been for Raider.io. Now is the perfect time to stop, reflect, and appreciate what we accomplished in 2023. Got the tool for you then. Introducing Raider.io's Auto Route Creator. Simply choose a replay and start to watch how your run differs in real time. The Great Push is back! For the
now, Fellblade. This is a very common habit Team 100 days. You're walking away from the boss.
I'm Ace Eric with Raider.io, and I'm here to bring you the key points and updates, the key points and updates of the last 24 hours of the Aberrus, the Shadow, Crucible, Race to World First.
46 cents to support Make-A-Wish International.
The time has come yet again.
That makes this matchup so difficult for Zico is not the Sotagius.
There we go! Just like that, the final key is complete.
Тому що потім треба буде повертатися всією командою в кімнату.
Also, controversial opinion. Does ketchup go on steak?
I can't really blame the Beavers too much, if that's like their fault.
We're gonna do a streamathon again. We probably better get ready for it.
He just fully switched into his regular.
I couldn't really see him, but it seemed like I did.
In the bottom right corner, this is something to show the chat. Let's see.
Just want to make sure that we're providing the best experience we can.
Of adding a new specialty type server to Classic. tip for your next Galakron's Fall run. Do a quick breakdown on some of the most commonly misunderstood trash in Galakron's Fall.
Welcome back to the race to World Worst, where 5 teams battle it out in 4 dungeons from Wrath of the Lich King to try and win some incredible prizes. Co, the first half has been really fun. We've seen some incredible strats, the team comps, some absurd things happening. What do you think leading into the next half are we looking for, and what surprises do you think will come?
Well, I guess in terms of the teams in general, then Zippy and Double Bacon and the Haggis are definitely the team to beat. Like, they need pretty much hardly any points to confirm their place as the masters of all of us. But I was just reading the chat on our Discord in the break, and they were saying that every time they hear their team names, they all go quiet. So maybe it's our job to try and put them off slightly.
Holy, okay, we'll try.
That's what we're going to say.
So we are moving to Ankahet. Let's have a quick overview of the dungeon. Ankahet, of course, in Dragonblight. And we've got 4 bosses in here, so lots of strats I'm sure are going to be cooked up. I know you sent me one last week, through the week, so it's going to be fun to see. What are you looking for in this dungeon? And from strats you've heard the teams put together, are we expecting something really cool happening?
I think we are, but we'll see what happens. I know there are some interesting places that they can get split, and they can do interesting things to save time. At the beginning of the runs, there are definitely some mobs you can kind of get around and take an interesting route. The one thing to look out for, especially at the beginning, is the mobs do have a move called Shadow Blast, which is a percentage hit. You will get hit by 60% if you take 2 of them and cast it at the same time. That's just game over.
Right, wow.
You have to interrupt it.
So it looks like they're going to have to focus, concentrate. It's not just all about as much damage as possible, but of course, more damage equals less chance for them to cast those things. As always, though, Ankahet, we're going to take a retro look at what used to be, and maybe you will find out a bit more about these bosses. We'll see you in a sec.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Project Lore, episode number 15. Now, today we're going into Ankahet, the Old Kingdom. The Old Kingdom is a level 73 to 75 instance and is a deeper section of Ajal Narub, which we explored in the last episode of Project Lore. I just love saying it that way, I'm not sure why. The Old Kingdom is part of a former Nerubian civilization which contains Scourge, Faceless Ones, Twilight Hammer cultists, all sorts of baddies. So we're going to go in to clear out whatever enemies we find in there, hopefully help the living Nerubians get back control of their kingdom.
Enter Ankahet, Hunter, and cleanse our former home of these faceless atrocities.
There we go.
Okay. Ah, boy. It's a red to me.
Really?
Yeah. Level 75.
Stuff is going to come out of these eggs, I can tell.
It's already happening.
And a Guardian hatched from you.
Hey!
It's an elite back here.
It's a 74. Let's do it.
Get into it, because he's immune.
Do I need to pick it up?
Yeah, he's immune until we kill that thing.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Where is it?
Behind us.
This is the curator. This is the curator. Let's do it. We got a hatch.
I love it. Has the plague.
Where's the hatch? Oh, whoa! Way down here.
And we're back.
There we go. Nice work, everybody.
Well, the old Nerubian Empire waits for us. Co, are we ready to jump in?
I think we are ready to jump in, but
Excellent.
my goodness, those add-ons, eh?
When the circles. Anyway, right, let's head in. Let's see the split view here and see what we're looking at. We've got the teams waiting at the dungeon doors. Hey, they can jump straight in. It looks like the good, the bad, the ugly are the first to jump through the portal. Let's have a look at what they're going to do here. The Old Kingdom. Now, I know in chat some people were saying they were very excited to see this dungeon. They were a fan of the Nerubians. And, well, we'll see what they can come out with, what strats are going to be cooked up. And of course, this team, we've got Widow. And the, the Druid again. Let's see if they can survive the spiders. Now, there's something about this dungeon code which really gets me. All the spiders, right? Not a massive fan of all those big creatures running at me. Not going to lie. That's why I play ranged.
Well, I mean, sometimes you just got to get up in their faces, right? That's just oh, pull timers. Look at this.
Interesting.
The professionalism.
Absolutely. So let's see them go through here. And of course, we're going to pull all the way down to the first boss, probably, or maybe just the top platform. Let's see what they're going to do. Top platform, it looks like. No, tanks running through down the stairs.
Yeah, you've got to just line of sight them. These are the mobs where you have where Shadow Blast comes into play. The ones that have the oh no.
The root comes out. Maybe the Master Spell.
No, it's just gonna sit it. I don't think you can.
Oh no, you can't. You can't dispel it.
It's an old school route, I think, where it's just you're rooted. You may as well just AFK.
Yeah, true. Oh, and there's the first death coming through. Big blast, as you were saying, the 60% health that's completely just demolished the tank there.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. There's 60%, whether you like it or not. There's no way around it.
Which makes me believe that I'm going to head over to Dead on Arrival here. Yes, as I thought, which makes me believe this team might have the edge because, hey, if it's 60% health and you're a tank, what does it matter? But if you're, putting that into the DPS, dealing as much damage as possible, maybe you're quicker, and it looks like they are.
It's just all into the pets as well.
Yep.
That's the other thing about this is that, I mean, this one is something different again. This one isn't about absolutely huge pulls. There are sections in which you can do it, but it's more about just consistently moving through, consistent damage, consistently moving. This is one bit where let's see if they do a bit of a split here because you've got 2 pylons to go for.
I mean, hey, on live, normally you do the split up 2 sides, but we'll see what they're going to do here. Now knowing that they're listening, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Maybe they listen to us. Hey, do split. Maybe they start to do that, but hey, it looks like they've done it anyway.
Got to keep just saying, oh, you missed something, go back and see if they're actually properly listening.
Exactly, right. As they head over to the second boss here, they're going to take out this big troll Viking?
This big mob. Let's go for big mob.
Mob.
Abomination possibly is Wrath, so maybe.
Yeah.
We've got Talvi in the chat, our lore master, so maybe Talvi can tell us what that is.
Yeah. Interesting here. We've got obviously the boss jumping on people, which was always annoying back in the day, but hey, it is a mechanic that they have to deal with. The Holy Priest on this particular dungeon I don't think is going to be as beneficial. As you were saying earlier, the packs aren't as big, so that Holy Nova and things like that aren't going to be as beneficial.
I love your obsession with Holy Nova.
It's
your favourite thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in these dungeons. Right, we've got Bite My Candy on screen. And that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, well, you are factually correct.
Yeah.
And now you have Keys My Bum on screen as well.
Okay. Right, let's head over to Double Bacon and Haggis because they are our leaders. And it looks like they've 2 minutes 46 to the second boss. Interesting. Maybe this is the dungeon that they didn't practice.
It looks like they perhaps had a tiny bit less time, that's for sure. But maybe they're going to pull out something a bit crazy here. This is one of the other things to keep in mind. This is obviously slightly longer, especially than Gundrak. So they're not really going to have that much time to perfect what they're doing.
No, and it looks like Dead on Arrival did the live strat of jumping down to the right to pick those mobs up. But of course, we've got here Double Bacon and Haggis heading straight for the boss. They're not worried about any of those mobs. They're going to pull the boss, and they're going to do as much damage as possible very, very quickly to try and get it down. There is a bit of RP, I believe. There we are. And there's the boss.
What do you mean by the strat on live, by the way?
that when you come into this room, you jump down to the right to take those mobs, and then you head toward the boss.
Oh, on time walking, is it on? Is this one on
yeah, time walking.
Okay.
That's what I meant, yeah. Not unlike.
Running this competitively. Well, we're running this competitively, but that's not the point.
Well, that's what I like to do on my priest. I go back to old content and just,
see how fast you can run it all.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how far you can pull this. If pull it up to the edge, I was kind of curious if you could pull it any further as Stampede and Roar comes out. A fantastic use of movement. But they were saying to me that you couldn't actually do it.
It resets potentially?
Yeah, apparently it resets once you get them past those mobs. The one interesting thing that we have here, and I'll see if they do it, but there is a strategy for this boss that saves you quite a lot of time. But we'll see if they actually end up doing it.
Knowing them, they'll probably try something here. We've got the Forgotten One just straight in front and the leap over toward them to get them pulled quicker. Zippy is heading straight down the middle of the room, and the two mobs from either side are collapsing on the DPS.
Yeah, so they're doing it. So what happens is you get it to the insanity phase and it resets the mobs. Any mobs you have on it just resets as soon as the boss phases, so you don't have to deal with them. So you'll get the balance. There we go. Here's insanity comes out, and you'll see that the mobs just lose all aggro.
They just
they despawn and they'll respawn again.
They just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And there we have it.
Boss is dead anyway.
5 minutes, 3 seconds. Absolutely insane. Let's have a look over at Sicarius. It looks like, are they loading back in?
It looks that way. And apparently those mobs are called Plague Walkers. What they are other than that, I have absolutely no idea. But you were saying about times perhaps being closer and the differences between groups. Double Bacon and Hag was a 5 minute 3 seconds.
Yep.
And a dead on arrival with a 5:28 just then.
Oof. Very, very close then.
Yeah, it would only be a few things to work out. Perhaps not stopping to do some DPS on some mobs, taking a few more risks, and seeing what happens from there.
Now, I'm interested to see here, again, I've enjoyed the Paladin. I don't think it's worked for them how they wanted it to. However, this could be one of those dungeons where the Paladin's tools could come into action. They've decided to skip the mobs on the left, which I think is clever. But are they wasting time here when they could just pull the mobs all the way down?
I guess it's a matter as well of safety. If they were to skip those mobs and then pull these ones on top of the boss in the next room, then that would be worth it, which seems like that's exactly what they're going to do. So they don't actually have to stop, because at a certain point you just can't interrupt everything, which is possibly an advantage for a DH, being able to, I believe they have access to AoE silence at this level. You could just you to silence the whole thing until you're able to nuke it down. But
very, very close. There's the heal. We're coming through here. Of course, as we know, the Paladin has a lot of tools, and if they cycle through their cooldowns, they'll be just fine. It's just if they are fast on the fingers, if they're writing with pen and paper, I'm not sure if they will be. But hey-ho, here we go. Boss is down to 30% health. As the mobs do come out of the eggs here, they do need to kill them ASAP.
Shadow Blast. Oh, he managed to get it. There's good awareness to get that, because he was already on less than 50%. Unfortunately, they're going to have to pull another load of mobs with the Shadow Blast, because they just weren't quite quick enough, or slow enough, depending how you look at it, to avoid that pat.
Right, here they go down the stairs. We've got the big mobs ahead of them. They'll probably do the split, which I think is good, faster.
It's pretty much the only possible strategy here that is going to cost you a load of time. Apparently, it's going more onto these Plague Walkers. They look like patched together Scourge. Do you say Scourge or Scourge? What's the correct pronunciation?
I say Scourged. I say Scourged. I do have to mention there, the use of their Leap of Faith has been really great. The leap cross that they gave to the Paladin there was fantastic. However, was it necessary? I'm not sure. Could they have used it somewhere else?
Maybe it's just a bit of a flex. They have to use it somewhere. Show it on stream, right? They know we're mentioning them.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't die, guys.
Just don't die. Just don't die. But there's the lay on hands. Very, very quick fingers. Definitely not using a pad and paper. And on they go here up the stairs. They're feared as well. Everything seems to be falling apart from the team. The Sicarius, the new team here.
Freeze. Oh my god.
And there we are.
Getting chain CC. This is like arena.
It is arena. These big mobs really don't want the Paladin to live, but the Paladin, again, with all the tools in the world, heading up the stairs toward the boss. Nothing happened. We didn't see anything. It's all good. Heading on to the last boss here. I wonder if they've lost too much time there to meet the 5 minutes, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're necessarily going to do it. And more info coming through. There's two kind of mobs, Plague Walkers and Bone Grinders. Plague Walkers are classed as a Plague Eruptor, and Bone Grinders are classed as a Flesh Giant. And on the subject of Flesh Giants, I'm going to pass back over to you.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that. Does a Flesh Giant wear a shirt and jacket? That's the real question.
I wasn't talking necessarily
Oh.
about the same sorts of thing that you are. It was much more complimentary than you're thinking.
Right. Okay. We'll leave that for chat to decide. Okay, as we get through to the next room here, I wonder if they'll do the strat of running straight down the middle toward the boss. Where they're going to jump to the right. They're going to jump to the right. I think this is slower, but this is what they've cooked, so they're going with it. Where's Paladin? Oh my goodness. Paladin's going to the last boss. They're separating.
Yeah. This is the split. I'm curious. Has he got anyone with him? Because if not, then I wonder if the mind control will actually just make it so the boss resets completely. We'll soon find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. It looks like, though, the health of the priest is dropping quickly. Heal yourself. They've got potions and all sorts. Looking at the frames there, they're healing up. Everything's fine. They are pulling these mobs, though, which is interesting, and not running... Oh, they are running straight to the boss. Okay.
It's a bit... it's a tiny bit annoying that I can't see on his minimap what everyone is. Although, there we go. We've got all of the mobs coming with him, so let's see if he can keep himself up. I wonder if he's just... Now he's on his own, he's able to use Bubble if that's...
he
still has it available.
He should. Oh, he's got... he can't use it at the moment. It looks like there's a death here. They do have potions available, but they tried it. They tried it.
Lucky, honestly.
Very unlucky, but they tried it. I think that's the way they're going to win, though. That is the way that this team is going to win. I'm heading over now to Goblin. They're ready for their run. We've not sort of looked at Goblin too much through these runs, and I think it's interesting to look over them and see they have that Resto Shaman. That is the difference maker between the teams, is this Resto Shaman, and they just deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, just look at that. That's just the whole thing went down. I don't think the DH even looked in their direction necessarily, and they're already at least half HP.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the chain lightning. And the other thing is, it's not really about procs. It's just you can just keep spamming chain lightning, and it will keep doing huge amounts of damage.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. It's just now a case of how much are they able to pull. Are they able to pull the amount that Zippy is, and use the movement cooldowns in the way that he is with his team? Or are they going to be slower on one of those two, or perhaps both, which might have been the case so far? It's once again coming back to your discussion about comfort or meta, and if you're able to be lucky enough to have your comfort pick also be one of the best.
Yeah, I think potentially slower, but they get that insurance with the Shaman that if something goes wrong, they'll be able to rectify it. I wonder if they do the split at the end, if the Shaman goes with the tank to the last boss and the DPS kills the second boss. That might be, third boss. That might be something there, just to make sure everyone's stable. But they need to do something. We've got good times posted by Double Bacon and Haggis, and they need to find probably 30 seconds from somewhere.
Well, let's fingers crossed they managed to find it from somewhere, as we get a time from Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of 6:25. So they've got some work to do, but because they're currently last, I don't have a time from Goblin, I don't have a time from Sicario, so I guess they've reset as we have more than a third of the way done of Uncut.
Yeah. There was a little bit of an issue there with the Demon Hunter, if they clicked it or not, but they are heading toward the second boss. They are confused, but I think they've got it.
Yeah, it's with these dungeons, they do provide a bit of interest in that regard of mechanics that you probably just wouldn't see, at least in today's dungeon pools, or at least mechanics that if you did see would be a lot more streamlined.
You're right. I think that's a good way to put it. A lot more streamlined, and less reliance on the individual to sort of do those things and split up and do that. But the interesting thing about Honestly's character here, Celeste, they're almost invisible on this blue-purple dungeon. You can just see their weapons. Very interesting.
Maybe that's what they're going for. That's the style of some sort of Padawan here with dual-wielding lightsabers.
That's very true. They do look like lightsabers. I'm a big fan, actually. Looks good.
As long as he saves the younglings.
I mean, will they ever be saved? That's really the question. Has the damage been done? So it looks like they are also splitting, potentially. We've got the Demon Hunter and the Druid heading up the ramp. And I believe the Resto Shaman is soloing?
Yeah, Resto Shaman, he solos in a way, but he also has the Earth Elemental at this level.
Very much.
So it's pretty much, you can every 5 minutes have another party member who does really good damage and can hold aggro. And holding aggro off a Resto Shaman at this level is no mean feat.
No. Now, looking at the time, we're on 3 minutes 43 seconds. Of course, we're trying to beat that 5 minutes odd from Double Bacon and Haggis. And if they went straight to the boss, they might have done it. I'm not sure if they can now, because they've decided to not pull the boss, which I think is an interesting thought. Maybe the room gets locked off if you pull the boss, but I don't think so. So I'm not quite sure.
I mean, by this time, I don't think one extra player would have made that much difference. So I think you're probably right. The room gets locked off, but they probably could have already got the boss killed by now. So
yeah,
maybe it's a case of you get your time that you like. I think they still might do it. They've got 45 seconds still.
I think they do it, but I also think that Double Bacon and Haggis probably see this, or they hear about it and they make that adjustment as well. It looks like teams have adapted through this. Even through this past 15 minutes, they've seen what each other are doing. And it's really interesting. So there we go. As you said, the mobs disappear as we go into the intermission. And when the boss comes back, they're going to slam it down. And we'll see what time.
They all have to kill their individual shades, which seems like it's proving a problem for some of them more than others.
Yeah, very interesting how it's proving a problem. Oh, are they finding an issue here? They're finding that the Shaman also has... The Shaman also has them. It's a bit of a fiesta. Goblin is really trying to find out what to do here.
There's another mob running in behind them. I wonder if that's a shade that is just... That looks like the Shaman's shade. Yeah, he doesn't have to do them together. It just probably... Now he's running in. Just kill that.
Just needs to kill it. And there we have it. So
there we go.
They said they killed them.
Yeah, because the Shaman was the other boss. It must have been like while he was running, it procced the insanity, therefore spawned it where he was, outside. But 5:30 is still a respectable
still
time.
Pretty good.
Given all that.
I wonder if the tech is you kill the third boss on your own and then you leave the dungeon. And then your shade doesn't come up. But anyway, let's have a look over here at Sicarius. They are, again, doing this strat of pulling. Actually, we should probably check on Double Bacon and Haggis and see if they've made any improvements to their run. And if they're doing the split run. Do you think that that's something that they'll hear about and adjust? Or do you think they think their time is very quick?
Well, they definitely think their time is very quick. They're going to adjust. With the last time with Gundrak, they just kind of... It's like, okay, this time is unbeatable. But what I can tell you what they're doing now, obviously they're waiting for the patrol, and this is just because the timer starts on combat. So I've said to them, if you're running this way, tag those mobs on the right to start the timer, to not be too toxic about it. But timer starts on combat, so there's plenty of ways in which you can lose time by getting to combat too early. And you got Shadow Blast Weakor coming in, there's another one
Here
there.
it goes, 2 seconds, 1 second. And it went down on the went down on the DK, but I don't think they care. I think they let one go off, right? Because it's 60%, but it's not your health bar, so it's not your whole health bar.
Yeah, this is true. If you have nothing around you so much, that's not too risky. I remember actually soloing this as a leveling dungeon on my Paladin during the recent Wrath Classic. Not the whole dungeon, of course. You have to have your first circle of mobs, the ones that do Shadow Blast, and the techniques you had to interrupt them and all this. It was good fun.
Yeah.
In Classic.
Well, this coming into the next room here, they're going to do the split. They're going to grab the 2 orbs from the top, click on them. Then they're going to head down to the next boss. I do want to focus here on Double Bacon and... I was going to say Eggs again, and Haggis, because I want to see if they do the split strat, or if they've done the split strat and they've realized, hey, it doesn't work, because of the issue with the shades. Oh, we've got.
I'm really. Oh, he just got out the fear in time to be honest to heal himself. I'm really interested with the shades whether it's a case of he just didn't notice that it procced when he wasn't in the room, or it only started when he got into the room, or what that actually is.
Yeah.
Because if it is a case that he just had to look behind him while he was running, because it was pretty slow, it seemed like he could just run away from it. Then there's no reason why they couldn't do sub 5 minutes easily.
Yeah, very true. I asked the question as well of, hey, if they had a rogue in here, does a rogue go invisible and skip the first boss, do the orbs ready for the second boss? There's all those sorts of questions potentially, but they look like they're doing...
we decided that was a bit too over the top, when we wanted to keep classes as open as possible. So we said there's no stealth choosing of mechanics. You can absolutely use stealth in combat, but you can't use it to do anything like that. Other than that. It looks like they're just not happy with the time, and they're going to go back out and reset.
Wow, imagine being in that position. You can decide, hey, let's just reset. It's all good. We've got the fastest time. Let's try and get it faster.
Yeah, it's a perfect time. They're going to have time probably, if they're super quick, for 2 more, but possibly only 1. We started, at my time, I had it as 9:30 CAT, so 16 minutes, basically getting up to 17 minutes down, over halfway. So now we've really got to think about a strategy of, do you push it, or what happens? The Sicaris seem to have a time. What is it, if you go onto their screen?
Let's have a look as we head on over. 6 minutes, 9 seconds.
Wow.
There we are.
They managed to got it finished, which is obviously part of the game, but currently they actually are on the board with 1 point.
Wow. I mean, this is it. It's the incremental points that you pick up through the dungeons. Hey, they may finish, third, but they get that prize. They get all those great rewards that we were talking about earlier. Getting loot is always good, no matter what it is, right? So, hey, I'd take that.
Absolutely. And last time our beloved community leader won the prizes, and then at the real life meetup raffled them off because he's a lovely guy.
He did, and I was there. I sat right in front of him as he raffled them off.
Did you win?
I won a little figurine. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, well, congratulations! All prizes clearly find their way to you.
Well, they'll find swings and roundabouts. They'll find their way. They'll find their way. So thank you for Blizzard for providing my prizes eventually. Anyway, moving forward here to Dead on Arrival, of course, the team without a tank. That BM Hunter, the Holy Priest, and of course the Warlock with all their pets. They're heading through for their next run. Let's see if they pull that pack in the middle, or if they fade, maybe Mind Soothe around this pack. I'm not sure if you can Mind Soothe these, but definitely fade around it. But it looks like they are
just holding off.
Yeah, they're waiting.
Know what they're doing here.
Maybe they're waiting for that pack to come back across, and then they're going to skip round by the mushrooms.
I see. They're doing that skip. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Yep. That definitely makes a lot more sense. I got a time as well. Apparently, while we weren't looking, Double Bacon and Haggis got a 4:55, so they're pretty happy with where they are.
Wow.
I would imagine. Just to go through times again, Double Bacon and Haggis 4:55. The second fastest currently is Dead on Arrival with a 5:28. Goblin with a 5:30. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with a 6:16. Sicario with a 6:9, and Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with a 6:16.
Wow. It is there is a bit of a gap between the teams. I think a couple of them are still trying to find their footing. They do have time to probably do 1 or 2 more runs. Probably 2 more runs. So they can adjust. But this team here, dodging, weaving, try not to pull many as they head toward the first boss.
You also have to be super quick here with switching over. There's no way of killing him before he gets the shield down. You just have to switch the ad to make sure, because the ad dies and it makes him drop his shield. So there you go, the Guardian Hatcher's got to switch. You got to switch now to stop the shield.
Oh, they need to switch.
Need to slow.
Yeah, that's okay. They're gonna kill it here. They're gonna switch back, and the boss will be dead very quickly, I suspect.
Yeah, it's all about those tiny seconds. As we know, Dead on Arrival currently 2 seconds faster than Goblin, and something like that would make them possibly catch up to, their second, possibly catch up to Zippy's team, Double Bacon and Haggis, but I mean, it's looking like an insurmountable lead currently.
Oh, and they pulled as well on the left-hand side. I did see the Holy Nova come out, so that makes me happy. However, they do need to split here and get these orbs clicked ASAP, so they can head through. But I'm not sure with this one, unfortunately.
Well, they've got their second place at the minute, and maybe it's fantastic to get second place on any dungeon, given the teams and the times and the effort involved. So it's something to congratulate us, that's for sure.
Yes.
Possibly we have some teams nearing the end of a run.
Let's have a look.
Have a look at the times of.
Well, we had a Goblin. Let's head over to Goblin. They've got the end of their run. And it looks like, apology for the quality, it'll kick back in. Here we are, 5 minutes, 5 seconds. Wow.
That's a fast run.
That's close.
Less than 10 minutes now, so we really are getting into final run territory. So, I mean, good, the bad, and the ugly have a lot to make up. But it makes it exciting if Goblin do come second, because so far they're the only team that's in any sort of position to catch double bacon and haggis.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be very interesting to watch for the last few minutes here, because they know they need to shave off, 10 seconds, I believe, around about 10 seconds?
Yeah, only 10 seconds. That's all it is.
Yeah, so if they can shave 10 seconds off, they can hit that top spot, and now the tournament is wide open, right? Those 3 points go over to Goblin, and the last map, it really comes down to it. And of course, being the Nexus. Yeah.
Absolutely. So if they get 3 points, puts them on 7, double bacon and haggis on 2 points, it'd be 7 points versus 8 points, which then becomes a real, let's get this on. But if they let double bacon and haggis get another 3, it's 9 points. They have 6 points. They need double bacon and haggis to 0 point in the Nexus.
Yeah, which probably won't happen. And I think, this is where it's really interesting. Consistency is king, really, here. As long as you're consistent through the dungeons and you don't sort of finish last, second, fourth, but you're consistent, maybe 2, 3, 1. This is where you can win.
Absolutely, at least you're in with a fighting chance comes the end. Obviously, it's not all about first place. There are obviously other prizes on offer.
Absolutely. And as we mentioned before, we've got third place to get some really cool pets in game, and also get that runner-up event Discord badge, which is really cool to have next to your name to show the whole community, hey, look, we achieved. And second place as well, some BlizzCon collection prizes, which is really cool, and the badge. And that first place, War Within Heroic Edition, which is really great, as all these players I know are going to play with the War Within. I'm sure we're all hyped at BlizzCon, those listening. And that just gives you that little bit of edge, maybe a little bit extra cash so you can get those WoW tokens, maybe pay for some enchants, whatever you need at the beginning of the expansion. So all good.
Or maybe you want to donate it as a prize at a raffle to our lovely host over here. Who knows?
Exactly. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe you've already got a heroic edition and you want to give it off to the host. Who knows? We've unfortunately got a death here. I think they have to reset quick.
Yeah, they have to reset super quick. It's going to be the last chance. They don't have room for another death after this. Hopefully, they've got room in the amount of resets they're doing, as they can see another team outside there. The rivalry. It's a rivalry. It must be waiting for them. Once again, if you think that you can do better than any of these teams, then join the Discord. We have sign-ups that are going to be open for the next season of this event, discord.gg/StarshipEU.
Yeah, and it's really important you get in early, because there's only, as Ko said, there's a limited number of spots, and we have a lot on the line that you can win at these competitions. And hey, you get to be in front of the community and show your best. Show your best, show some cool tricks, some cool strats, what you've been cooking in the kitchen. Yeah, it's a good time. And we're really pleased that these players could join us for today.
Double bacon and eggs, that's what we've been cooking, isn't it?
Yeah, with a side of... with a side of pen and paper. Right. As we go forward...
I mean, at least they don't eat it. Like, come on.
Yeah, true. We're moving forward here into the last run of Goblin D's Nuts, because this is really important for them. They've got to make up 10 seconds. If they make up the 10 seconds, it puts them within a point of the leaders. And running into the last dungeon, when you're slightly behind, I feel like that's a good spot, because if you're ahead, you're always looking behind you. Are they going to catch us? What time do they have? Do we need to push harder? And maybe you make more mistakes. So
timer works perfectly for them this time, so they're going to send this run, and we've got to, as people watching, try and hype them up, inspire them to victory as they decided just to go for it this time. Although I think maybe that's a net behind.
Oh no!
Stuck behind.
This is not good.
Oh, that's a shadow blast. His screen's pinging red. He's managed to recover. They've managed to stabilize for now.
Yep.
As they get around the corner.
They're really just putting everything they can. There's another route coming through, but the boss is there. That's fine. They are probably sweating at this point, yelling at each other. We have a death, unfortunately, though. I know it's hard to look at, but hey, we've got a death from the druid. This run is cooked, or balked, if you will. They want a quick reset. I think they've got 5 minutes left, Ko.
Well, they're going to have to pull off some sort of world record time, but if they can do it, then fantastic. They currently have 4 minutes, dead on.
Okay, then he's head in. Go, 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 go. I think it's a good like 30 seconds to get to the first mob.
Yeah, I mean, they started at past. It's now 9:56. So they're going to have to do it in 3.5 minutes. I don't think this is a possibility for them, but maybe they pull off something super crazy.
Yeah, maybe they do. And we're going to have a look here whilst they pull at the start here. I want to have a quick look at the rest of the teams. They are preparing, heading over to the next dungeons, which is good to see as we head over to Goblin. Yeah, it's...
I think, unfortunately for them, I've just seen another time of Goblin. Once again, when we weren't watching, of Double Bacon and Haggis of a 4:46. So
4:46.
Yeah, this is unsurmountable. I think now for them, unfortunately.
Potentially, they heard that Goblin were on their tail, and they thought, hey, we need to kick out a really big time here that they just can't catch us, and they did. So here we are.
A couple of other times coming through. Good, the Bad and the Ugly with a 5:54, which is pretty much 20 seconds off their previous best, which is fantastic. And Sicario with a 5:38, which is pretty much half a minute off their best previously. So some good times coming through for some of the other teams.
Yes. And I know we haven't focused on some of the other teams this run. We will be looking at them in the Nexus. We just want to see... there we go with the message. They win. Let's leave it. Holy moly. Well, they tried their best. They worked really hard. But unfortunately, this dungeon, hey, it's not for them. We are going to head back to us in a moment, Ko, if you want to prepare for that. And look, in this last dungeon we're about to get into, the Nexus, the teams are it's really on a knife's edge. Whoever wins, I think, might take it if Double Bacon and Haggis don't finish second. I know Ko is working out just now what's happening with this, and we'll get the answers in a moment. But yeah,
you're gonna have to give me a second.
Yeah,
I think
no
that
problem.
it's the race for second and third that's hot enough. It's I think first place might be pretty much
a done deal.
Done deal and delivered, as well. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
As I can see so far, that's 9 points for 3 wins on the bounce for Double Bacon.
Wow.
And Haggis Goblin with 6 points for having 3 seconds in a row. So basically, for them to win, they need to come first, and Double Bacon and Haggis need to basically not try, which is unfortunate. And then, perhaps the interesting thing is the other 3 teams all have 1 point each. So that's where we're looking at for our drama going in, as long as I've calculated this correctly. But if you give me a second, I'll find
absolutely.
those and let you know.
So we are very, very happy to be partnered with a very, very amazing teams of Blizzard, Raider.io, Safe in Our World, Zygor, and many, many others that have made this possible. We thank all of them. If you would like to be a part of this race in the future, head over to discord.gg/Starship EU. There you'll find a massive community of gamers who do all sorts of things. And this is just one of them, one event of many that we would love for you to be a part of. Now, we don't want you to leave this broadcast without something special to take away with you. And that's in the form of discounts from our partners. Zygor is giving us 20% off with the code Starship at checkout. Gamer Advantage, 20% off with the code Starship at checkout. Glitch Energy, 10% off with this code Starship EU at checkout. And Streamlabs, for all those streamers out there, $10 off the annual subscription for Streamlabs Prime. A whole host of things there available for you. And to top it all off, yes, Starship, we have merch, and the drop is available in the link below. I mean, I do need to add one more thing for the mount collectors out there. There's something really special you could win. The Wondrous Wave Whisker. I believe I said that right. The Wondrous Wave Whisker mount is available today on the EU server. Just type !ticket in chat, and you'll have the opportunity to win one of those. Now, Co, hit us with it.
Unfortunately for some of the teams involved, it's pretty much exactly as I said. So you have Double Bacon and the Haggis on 9 points, Goblin on 6, and we know what that means for the next part of this event. And then Sicario, the Good, Bad, the Ugly, and Dead on Arrival, all on 1 point each, all fighting for that 3rd place.
Wow. So, hey, there is a lot to fight for. There's prizes on the line for all of these teams. It's going to be an exciting last 30 minutes of gameplay. We are heading to the Nexus. So let's have a look here at the Nexus. Of course, it's in Borean Tundra, one of my favorite zones. I don't know why. I think in the summer, when I'm running around in the snow, it feels good. The arcane energy stored during the Nexus War, an ancient fortress of the Blue Dragon Flights. The bosses, there's 4 of them. Co, what are we looking at here? Any cool strats, or do you think this is just deal as much damage, get through as fast as possible?
Well, it's definitely another one where movement is going to play a big part in it. And much like Ankahet having some mobs that really do hit hard, once you get into I think it's the Crystalline Forest section, going up to Ormarok the Tree Shaper, that's where teams have complained a lot about the amount of damage that comes out there.
Yeah. So
that's the part that can really make or break your run. And the fact that that comes pretty late in the instance really does add some level of jeopardy. Once again, it's like a six minute-ish, shall we say, dungeon, so you don't get as many chances to do it, and if you're dying at 4 minutes, then you're really going to be kind of annoyed.
Yeah, so it's about safety, but also really pushing the limits to be able to get those times, because now there are prizes up for grabs for every single team. They need to really push it, and they need to really hit those times. Just like we did.
This is where it gets real.
Yeah,
this is where it gets real.
Of course, before we go in, we're going to give you a rundown of the dungeon from our retro friends from back in the day.
Hey everybody, welcome to Project Lore, episode number 13. Again, big golf clap. Our rep pally, Jeff Kanata. Thank you for sitting in, as it were. My pleasure. So we are very deep into the content of Wrath of the Lich King. It's been out for many moons. God, we are loving it. Today we are going to be going into the second level 70 instance in Northrend, the Nexus. Now the Nexus is interesting. The Master of the Blue Dragons, Malagos, he is using the ley lines of the area around the Nexus to siphon all of the magical power from Azeroth and then throw it out into the Twisted Nether. That is a very bad thing. There's a group of mages called the Kirin Tor who basically want to keep their magic. And I don't blame them, because you know what? Mage without magic is just a guy running around in cloth pants. It's just an ick. It's ick. So they want to try to keep their magic. So what they have done is they've actually moved Dalaran to Northrend. That was the big bubble that there was big fighting, and now they've moved it off out of Azeroth to Northrend. So we got to go in, lay down the law, get these guys their magic back, and stop the rifts from happening. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Project Lore.
I'm going to pull him.
Pull his ass.
Now this week we finally finished the last boss of the Nexus after a lot of wipes. And when I say a lot of wipes, I mean a lot of wipes. We finally killed that stupid frozen dragon. I gotta tell you, I wish we had never freed her from the freezer in the first place, because that was an annoying fight, my friends. And I don't know about you, but I don't think I ever want to go into the Nexus again. Unless I need some badges, in which case I'll do it heroically.
Oh, that was stupid.
Great way to start a battle with that phrase.
I died.
Lyle's dead.
Well, this is it. This is the final push to find the war within. Co, are the teams ready to go?
They absolutely should be. I told them they should be, so let's go.
Okay, right. Yep, we see them. There is one team that's still flying over, but there's one team ready to go, and that is Sicarius, and they have started their run 17 seconds in, running down the first corridor. What are we expecting from this first boss? Are we expecting anything different, or is it just a slam him down as fast as possible?
This one essentially is pretty much as you said. You just got to make sure you pull him towards the door, and how big you pull. You can pull all of this if you're feeling brave enough, or if you want to split it in half. There's not really that much to say about it other than just how many of these mobs can you get at the same time, and kind of push him towards the next boss. And that's kind of the problem, is that these ice blocks will just break on any damage and run straight to the aggro. So if the tank isn't the first one to get them, then
then it's GG. It's looking like here the Shadow Priest is doing a sufficient job of keeping themselves alive, which is good. The Paladin, of course, is taking the brunt force of all of these mobs as they're heading toward the next boss. I think they'll be fine, but it looks like there's the heal that comes through. Good. They've looked after themselves as they head toward the next boss.
Yeah. We're going to add some, just to let everyone know in the chat, we are adding some time on because people weren't there for the start. Quite a few of them weren't there. So just going to add some time on at the end to make sure everyone gets half an hour. And how it's worked out so far is everyone literally gets half an hour because of how the time finishes.
Oh yes, we'll keep this absolutely fair. Everyone will get 30 minutes, no problem at all. Okay, so here we've got the second boss.
Yeah, and this is where it starts juggling people around.
Yeah, the juggle in the sky.
Yeah, although it's actually taking quite a lot of damage because of the silence effect. I didn't quite expect quite that much silence to come out on the Paladin. Obviously, he's trying to heal himself, although I guess he does have 2 off healers with him, so maybe that's looking in their direction menacingly.
Yeah. And that's the 2 minutes 23 heading on to the next boss. And I think they are running. It's a solid run. I think they can do better, but it's solid.
Absolutely. Now, once again, this one is. We're going between different styles of dungeon. This obviously has these slows, which are super annoying, but he has freedom, which makes it so much easier for him compared to some other tanks.
Yeah.
Now it's just, how much of this, once again, can you pull before you just have to stop and take them all down? Could you possibly go all the way to the boss?
Especially if you can jump off the platform and lose some of the aggro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, they've taken them down.
I think, given that these guys have just in the interest of fairness, given that these guys started before some of the others got there, I think we'll just ask them to hold their last run that they would otherwise do, just in the spirit of fairness.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right, let's have a look over here at Double Bacon and Haggis, as they are. They've just killed the second boss, I believe, first boss, and they're heading through now onto the platforms.
Yeah, well, these are the ones to beat so far. These are ones of pretty much, this could be treated like a victory lap for them unless something goes horrifically wrong.
Yeah,
but there's no danger of that happening so far. As long as they keep something approaching the same sort of energy, then this should be done and dusted for them. It just depends on how much they want to have the absolute flex of saying they won every single map.
Yeah, and knowing the players, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that flex, but as they head up here toward the boss, they're just going to pull everything with them.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking might happen. And maybe they should choose their own Discord title, The Unbeaten or The Unbeatable, and that can be the proper flex that they get to enjoy for the rest of the time on the Discord server.
Well, at least for a month or so before the next one.
Well, it's definitely not going to be in a month. It will be like a couple of months
in the future. In the future,
absolutely.
Yeah. Let's have a look over here at the split. Let's see who else is running. Of course, we've got the Good, the Bad, the Ugly heading over to the platform there. Let's have a quick peek at what they're doing. The Demon Hunter was kind of low then. That was a bit strange, but have they split?
looks kind of like they are doing some sort
Yeah.
of split strat here. Not sure where everyone else is, because once again, oh no, you have the minimap, and they're not even on the minimap, so that's a really ambitious split, I would say.
Wow. Yeah,
I wonder how much. This must have been practiced, right? But I'm very curious to see how the Shadow Priest manages to do this. Is he just clearing mobs for other people to eventually then come down and help with, or is he actually just going to go and solo this boss? Because the kind of the health of these other two party members suggests that things. Oh no, that goes back up. It was suggesting that things were a bit tight.
Yeah. But it does look like the Shadow Priest is going to head straight toward this boss. Nice skip there of the mobs.
Absolutely, he's got all the top tier strategies, and it looks like he's actually going to be able to do it more or less comfortably, which is going to put the cat amongst the pigeons when it comes down to this race for third.
Absolutely, the cat amongst the pigeons. As we head over here to Dead on Arrival, they're pushing through toward this boss, and let's see if there's any strats cooked up here. Of course, they are the tankless team with the pet combo, which we've seen work really well in the other dungeons, and that Holy Priest, of course, which I will keep going on about as being out there with the Holy Nova going off. What a great spell! And there they are flown, and there they are flown up in the air. Those mobs have been taken down, the ads, and they're just going to slam the boss now.
I'm really surprised at the amount of damage that the Holy Priest does. It's a great amount of damage.
Come on now. Surprised?
What?
I've been preaching about it since.
For ages.
Right, okay. But no, they're doing really well, heading forward, and there we go. The boss is down, and they're going to head to the next one. Someone who we haven't checked yet is Goblin, of course, and they are on this platform. Let's see if they've cooked up any strats themselves.
This is all about pride for them now. I think this is pride.
5 minutes 32, and they're on the. Have they done some?
I think something went wrong with it. Oh no.
No.
They didn't do something wrong with the timer. They're going backwards.
What
are they doing? Are they okay? Do they need help?
I mean, they're just dying here. Maybe
they're doing a death skip? That's a death skip, isn't it?
Holy, yes, they are.
All right, well, I think this is pretty cheeky to do. I'm not sure I said to anyone that they could do this, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. But did we say they couldn't? I don't know.
Well, I had the spirit of fairness thing. This kind of goes under the stealth category. We'll have to ask chat for chat's opinion. I've had some people message me about death skips, and these guys didn't. So I kind of want to say, if you are competing for an actual place, Dead on Arrival, Goblin, Sicario, and Goodman the Ugly, please do not death skip. It's not something that was practiced. I'll allow it for Goblin, as they're not really, as assuming they're not playing for anything. But yeah.
Okay. I would do like to say we've got Mistress in chat saying priest biased. What? Hey, look, when you play the superior class of a priest, bias will come. Okay. Right, moving forward here, we do have this time death skip. Very cheeky, no death skip. We saw the sad face come out, but hey, they're them rules. They're them rules.
Yeah, those pesky rules, eh?
I do want to have a quick look at the Good, the Bad, the Ugly as they are heading into the forest. Very cool aesthetic that Blizzard created here. And this boss, very interesting. It was always a killer when I played it back in the day. People used to stand, I believe it was the roots that come up and do some damage on the boss. But,
yeah, they used to stand in damage that was completely avoidable. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been the same for the last 20 years. So
yeah. And Talvi, I'm glad you're on the priest side. That's the way we like it. Okay, as they.
I mean, I also like priests. Like, don't come at me about this. I'm just saying. And a couple of days you get buffed as well. Like, come on.
Really? I'm not sure they're going to buff this.
Yeah, your Holy gets buffed.
Oh, okay. I played the real.
Holy's damage. Holy, you played the real spec.
Okay. Never mind.
I thought Holy was the real priest spec.
I'm going to get flamed. What? I'm going to stop talking now.
Come on.
Right, okay. As we move, I know, I really like Holy. I think it's it's very, very cool. Right, heading forward here, we are going toward the last boss, I believe. To be fair, Priest needs buffs. Exactly. We'll take every single buff Blizzard wants to give us.
Are you only reading out the chat comments that are about Priest? Is that how this works? All the rest of the chat you're just ignoring? Just anyone says something positive about Priest and you read it out instantly?
Yes. Yep, absolutely. But it's...
Come on.
All for the good of the game.
Can we get some messages about Warriors in chat just to check the proper bias here? Is that a possibility? I don't think it's going to happen though. I mean, a man can have a dream.
He can, but here we go. Mage number 1. Holy has always been my first love. There we go. Priest disc should be nerfed so Warriors can shine.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, but they're not the same. They're not built. They're built different, you know.
Well, currently Priest best class question mark has 75% negative votes. So I mean, how do you like them apples?
And here's a shout out to everyone. Lux has put in a vote or a poll. Sorry. On the Priest decision here. Blizzard Forgotten Warriors exist, is what it is. Buff rogues. Warrior to give utility. The thing is, though,
I just want to say, I love you, chat. You called out the poll and more negative votes came. That's amazing. Thank you very much. Beautiful.
Absolutely outrageous. Okay, we're going to head over now to Double Bacon and Haggis. We're going to focus in. Of course, this is the last almost 14 to 20 minutes of our race, and these teams are all fighting for a prize. It's not like someone is so far behind that they can't win anything. They can.
Absolutely. Double Bacon and the Haggis are completely on their victory lap. Goblin posted, I'm pretty sure it was with the death skip, a 640. Double Bacon and Haggis posted a 533. I'm kind of curious if that is with a death skip. If it is, then, well, it kind of equals each other out, right? So
yeah.
We'll see what happens with that. The only other time I have is Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with a 655. Guys, remember, death skips aren't allowed. We can watch the VODs back.
Yep, we're having none of those shenanigans. The last thing I'm going to say on the Priest topic is simply what Talvi put in chat. Disgraceful. I'm not healing you lot anymore. That's exactly how I feel. Anyway, moving forward here. We've got some good play here. The stun's coming out, though. That's going to slow them down a little. But I mean, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. They're looking fantastic at this point in time. Yeah, they just look like they're doing it the normal way, going around in the circle, but just doing it a hell of a lot faster than everyone else, which, I mean, you can't really complain about that, can you? Just waiting.
Exactly. I'm going to head over here to Sicarios as they're doing their next run. Timer looks a bit... looks okay. As they head up toward this boss. I wonder if they're doing any splits. It doesn't look like they are. They're all in range of each other. They're just heading through and doing as much damage as possible.
That's all you can do at the end of the day. I mean, we've got three of them now competing for prizes. You'd have to say that it seems like Double Bacon and the Haggis and Goblin are going to be first and second. So it's now just who gets the 1 point to get them into third.
Co, I have to say potentially, we've seen some things happen.
Oh no!
No!
Oh, that's going to be clipped. That's clipped. Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
Do you have like this wah wah sound effect?
Oh, I could do one. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, that is unfortunate, but is this the death skip? No.
It's not the death skip we meant, that's for sure.
I mean...
Oh? Is it?
The unfortunate...
What's going on here?
The unfortunate death skip. Yeah, I see what you're doing there. I accidentally fell off the edge.
Oh no, backpedal off. Oh no, how did that happen? Yeah, absolutely, guys, come on.
Yeah.
We see you.
I want to head over here to Dead on Arrival because, again, I just love seeing all the pets. But as we say, like, anything can happen. Anything can happen in the last run or two. We're down to the last 11 to 15 minutes here, and we don't know if there's something that they can cook. If there's something in the kitchen that they're ready to bring out for the last map.
Well, remember as well that Dead on Arrival and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly have an extra run. They have an extra probably 3 minutes because of how the timing works. So they've got more time to play with. Sicario has to cut it off early because of they started a bit early. Just some logistical difficulties from my end once again, probably blamed on pen and paper. But we're going through it. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly gave us a time of 6:55 so far, and Dead on Arrival gave me a 740. I'm assuming those are no death skip runs, but we will have to check.
We'll have to check.
Just in case.
I do have to say, and I unfortunately opened Twitch chat, which I didn't do for the first half of the broadcast, but I have now. I'm currently being flamed in chat. So there we are. But that is overridden by our wonderful £15 donation to Safe in Our World by Olivia. Ollie, thank you very, very much for that. We really do appreciate it. It's to a wonderful, wonderful cause. And yeah, we're super stoked that you did that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe some thank yous in chat would be great. Of course, we are doing this.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we are doing all this for fun and to win prizes and things like that. But these causes really do elevate what we're doing here, and it allows us to be able to, reach more people with it. So, thank you. Heading forward here, we've got the silence come out on the Warlock. Not a nice thing to happen. Locked out your spells. It's almost like playing PvP, Echo.
Yeah, kind of. I haven't played in so long, but yeah, I'm the one with the granddad hands getting locked out of all these spells. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I wish I wasn't. I wish I had the fastest fingers in the West, but
No.
those days are long behind me.
You just need to be able to grip a pen.
Well, I'm not going to say what I want to say.
Okay, right. Moving forward here, we've got the Burning Rush coming out of the Warlock. Run as fast as they can toward the next platform as they go toward the boss. Now we're going to go in the split view here. I want to see what's going on with these teams and what times are going out.
I was going to say we should go into Overwatch mode. Oh, there's another... Oh, dear.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's have a look.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. This one. Oh, here's their non-death skip, right? I don't know.
Well, they haven't killed Ormarok, so he's got to run all the way to Ormarok, and there's no way of doing it. So that's a reset.
Yeah.
Because he can't go through that way because you drop down from above, right? So he's going to have to try and get the whole way around. I don't think they're death skipping.
I feel the nerves, Ko. I feel the nerves coming from the teams. Like, they can win something. They just need to get that good time.
Absolutely. Let's go back to this. I really want to go back to the split view to make sure that we don't have any accidental falling off ledges anywhere.
Oh, we almost had one. Sicarius.
We also don't have Dead on Arrival on the screen, so because we have 5 teams once again, but we have obviously 4 players.
Let's head over. We'll head over to Dead here, as they're on this boss, taking it down as fast as possible, of course, and heading over to the next.
It's not a bad time.
No, not a bad time at all. We may follow this one down to the end just to see what time they come out with, as that Beast Hunter was so close to the edge.
That once again, this is the nerves, right? Your fingers shaking, getting nervous, and then you just jump a tad too early. Down you fall.
I would always, when it first came out, now and then I'd just jump to my death, but hey ho, we learn.
Wow, there's someone in the guild with the title for the most accidental deaths, but so far today he's been pretty good.
Yes, I think we're talking about the same person, but yeah, he's been pretty good today.
Hasn't got feared through the map, so that's always a positive.
Yeah, exactly. So getting forward here, we've got some heading to the next boss. I think this boss is one that if you can maximize your DPS and kill it as fast as possible, it's a real tank and spank, right? You're just doing as much as you can. This is where they can make the time.
Absolutely. It's just full on Zerg it down, and that's kind of what the last 2 bosses are. The main problem is this kind of gauntlet of trees they've got to get through, because you've obviously got the mobs that have the heals, and they actually do a decent amount of damage as well, especially if you're not really paying attention. As you can see, that was back to full. That was nice.
Very close.
They've got a load of mobs with them, so this could be a territory of yo-yoing health, but it seems like they're pretty stable right now as another pack comes in.
Yep, very, very stable. I think this really does prove that a tank potentially is not needed, depending on your strat. But hey, for some of those big pulls it is. What's happening?
You're just against warriors. Like anything that warriors can do, tanks no. Warriors no. Before you giving it out about me having plate transmog preference, what is this?
Hey, plate transmog, crazy. Just be a skeleton.
Come on.
Anyway, we've got here a decent time. I don't think this is going to be potentially it could hit that top 3. We'll see what they can do on the last boss. But they've still got time. They've still got another run. They can sort of maximize what they did this run. and push for next time. But they're going to open up these orbs here. The boss will spawn, and they've just got to slam.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got 655 to beat, which I don't think they're going to do this time. But the thing to say about that 655 is we don't know if any death skip was involved. We're going to have to go and check the
Yes,
VODs,
we'll have to go and check.
Another
Yes,
donation.
another donation, and oh my goodness, £50 from Morroof. Please tell me if I said your name wrong. I apologize. But Morroof, thank you very, very much for that. It's very, very generous of you. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who has donated this evening, going to a wonderful cause. That is very, very kind of you. It's just, it really does show this community, Starship. It's a wonderful place to be. It's full of lots of different things, not just events like this. We have many, many other things. Depending on what you enjoy, we have everything for you. Head over to discord.gg/Starship EU, and you can find out more about Safe in Our World as well, clicking on the link. It really shows what a great place this is. And yeah, I'm thankful to be a part of it, Co. And being here with you is good fun.
Oh, thank you very much. You've made my day, despite all the bullying I receive.
Right, okay. Dead on Arrival here with a 7-minute 31. It looks like they potentially could shave a minute or so off, and that will help them get into that top 3 zone. I believe they can do it. Yeah. Again, I'm all for this triple DPS.
It's an absolutely fantastic setup. I think it has good potential. We've got the good, bad, and the ugly currently sitting in 3rd spot. I don't have a time from Sicario's either. I don't know what's happening. It looks like we're getting kind of a bit on the edge here. I've got a no death skip run from Goblin of a 5:34, which still doesn't, unfortunately for them, beat Double Bacon. How many minutes left? I'm starting to get messages through from slightly panicky players. I would say Dead on Arrival and the Good, Bad, and the Ugly, you have another 7 minutes from here for the extra 5 minutes of time.
Yep.
And Sicario has 2 minutes left.
Yep. So again, we do want to make this fair to everyone. We'll never just leave them out. So of course we've added that time because they were getting to the dungeon. So we will of course give them that to make this fair and give them those extra runs. It's close. It's close. It's anyone's game. It's anyone's tournament, especially for those that 3rd slot.
Absolutely, but we're going to have massive bragging rights on Discord for Double Bakers and Bacon and Haggis. Did you ever think that Dave would get any points in this competition after last time?
No, I didn't. But hey, it proves that you play a class that has got a couple of buttons. Hey, you're good to go. And I saw him on his Beastmaster. No, sorry, he played Survival. I think that was the problem. But anyway, a good 7 minutes 5 seconds here. I'm gonna get messages from Dave after this. Apologize.
I don't think he likes you enough to talk to you. Don't worry.
No, that's true. Let's go on the split view here. We've got some teams in their runs. We've got Sicarius, who's probably going to get into their last run in a moment. I'm not sure if they're going to finish it.
No, they're done.
Oh, they're done.
They're done. It's a 7-minute instance with 2 minutes left. That's then done.
That's it then. Wow. And let's have a look at the other teams. We're going to have a look at Dead on Arrival here, as they do have that extra time as they jump into the dungeon here. And this is big for them, this run here. This run's going to be very, very big.
This is the run. So Sicarius did the 7 minutes 5. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly did a 6:55, which I'm assuming is okay, but we will obviously try to verify that since we didn't see it. Dead on Arrival did a 7:31, and obviously with the extra time, they are able to get another run in, which no other team I don't think is able to do. So they have one more run for.
Yeah, one more run there, of course, to make up the time. I will say, if the teams are listening, we will look to pull some players in. So if you are ready for that, I know Co will talk to you as we come to a close, because we'd love to hear from you. I'm sure the viewers will as well, to hear about the strats you're cooking up and all these sorts of things. But looking over here at Dead on Arrival, they are sprinting down to this boss as fast as possible. And, unfortunately, we had a death come through from the Holy Priest, polymorphed onto the Warlock. But, of course, we've got that Guardian Angel to help keep the team up so they can continue on the boss. And we'll probably have a res coming out.
We have a res.
Well, yeah, we'll probably have a res coming out here. They released.
Okay, they're gonna try and catch up then, one would assume. as the boss. Thankfully, with Priest, with the shield and with the feathers, they might have the time to actually do it.
Yep, exactly. I do have to mention a few things that I've seen in chat here. Hilarious. Davis proof, you can teach an old man new tricks. We've also got, I can imagine, the wild ride, the voice convo Dave is in right now. Yeah. Dave went from the worst team last time to the best team. I'm so happy for him. Dave's got some fans.
Well, there's websites for people with that amount of fans, I think.
Okay, yeah. And we've got the first boss down here, Grand Magus. It was only 2 of them, but they pulled it through quickly, which is good. As they head down the corridor, the gauntlet, as this Beast Mastery Hunter looks pretty low, but they've kept themselves up. I'm kind of scared for them, though.
I'm scared for them as well. It's kind of gritting my teeth.
Yep, it looks like they're going to be all right. Their pet is taking the brunt force of everything, you know?
Fantastic. They got there, and just now it's about how fast can Kiza get back to them.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's no. There we go. There's no stopping. There's the Beastmaster and no HP turns himself up. Then that looks like a mistake.
Yeah, and this is it coming up to this platform. The Beastmaster Hunter lead the charge of force. He dies, takes a good hit. Maybe we'll get the res out though by the Warlock as fast as possible here potentially, as they do continue to try and DPS these mobs down as fast as possible. I think we had a jump off the edge.
Yeah, I think they've decided that. I think they've decided their time has come.
Right.
Unfortunately, this. So that's going to be all she wrote. I think. Let's have a look in case anyone else got some amazing time. Yeah,
there's no CR at this level.
Res.
Yeah, that's very, very true. That's why they had to do the quick release. They did pull it back though after the release, but unfortunately, just too much damage came out in the BM. Which happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, these things do happen, as you were saying, and
yeah.
What can we do about it now?
Exactly.
Yeah, we do have some takers for interviews. Unfortunately, my camera has now given up completely, the ghost, but you won't need that for the interviews we're going to do.
Nope.
So while I tally up the scores.
Yeah.
Do you think let's drag some people in? Let's start with whoever is on. Let's take a Mr. Zippy into our call. I'll drag him in.
Excellent.
And we'll talk to him.
Wonderful.
Give me 1 second.
Well, there you have it, guys. We've got the 4 dungeons complete. It's been a wild ride. Some really cool strats. Some really cool things we've seen. We're going to talk now to the Guardian Druid of Double Bacon and Haggis. Zippy, welcome on broadcast. Look, you guys hit a wonderful stride and you were hitting first place in almost every dungeon. How does it feel to be able to place first?
Pretty good, I can't lie. We were a little bit nervous earlier on when we started our practice, but we found a lot of skips. We found a lot of places to shave a little bit of time. And well, I mean, it worked out in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, it definitely did. And talk to me about comms. Now, I've been in comms with yourself and also with Dave. How were comms? Were people really focused up, or were you sort of relaxed into it as you started to win more and more?
A little bit of both. We definitely had some very focused communication, kind of like when we're on prog during raid, right?
Yeah.
But then as we started seeing times for the same dungeons that we were running that were slower, then we would calm down a little bit more. But at the end of the day, the biggest fun of this kind of event is trying to beat your own times as well. Setting a new personal best feels good.
Yeah.
That's why we went for the last run in Ankehet, even though we were pretty sure we didn't have the time.
Yeah. Interesting to say that you were trying to beat your own time, which proves how confident your team was, which is really, really cool to hear. Last question about the prizes. Of course, it's the War Within Heroic Edition. Also that Bragging Rights Discord badge as well. I don't know, have you already got the War Within? Is this going to be a gift for someone, or is it all for you? Are you ready for it?
I do, and I believe Dave does as well. So this was mainly a win for Simon to make sure that he gets the expansion as a poor student.
Nice. Yep.
But I have some friends that are starting to very casually get into WoW, and I'm thinking this would be a good little present for them.
Awesome.
How's it going with Dave in the chat? Was he annoyed with some of the comments that we were making?
Only when we told him about it.
Brilliant. I'm sure you'll hear it in the VOD. Code, do you have any questions for Zippy?
No, I just thought that you were posting some absolutely unbelievable times. Basically just 3 points every single one of these, and to win by basically multiple minutes. I mean, surely it's just now bragging rights. Is just whenever anyone tells you anything, it's just, well, you know.
I won't use that against them. I have plenty of accolades to throw against people if I need to.
Oh my goodness.
I have to.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, thank you, Zippy. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much. And well played, everyone, for the record.
Yeah.
This was a really cool event.
Yep, everyone did super, super well. And hey, Zippy, we'll talk to you again, I'm sure, next event. Right, Ko.
Yep.
Are you ready to give us the rundown of what's happening?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've just checked and double-checked and verified. I can't see any other times come through. Nexus seems to be one where people were just more or less struggling to reach to the end, as we saw by Jay falling off the platform, unfortunately for him.
Yeah.
But these things happen. So we have Double Bacon and Haggis as the winners, undisputed champions, 3 points on every single one of them. Same sort of situation for second with Goblin, 2 points in every single one of them, makes them come second with 8 points. And then we have the situation of who actually comes and wins the final prize. So we have 3 different times. We have a 6:55, a 7:5, and a 7:31. Assuming, and this is an assumption, but we need to check, that it was no death skip, then the 6:55 of the good, the bad, and the ugly will win.
Wow. Okay, so very, very, very close. I assume they didn't death skip. We're going to give them the benefit of the doubt, aren't we?
We're gonna go and check the VOD because it's on YouTube. But because there's no time, we can give the prizes a bit later. We can ask them. There's no need to give them out now. If not, then Sicario got a 7 minutes 5.
Wow. So very, very close. I just want to say really quickly, sorry, Ko is not on screen with me, but he is here in voice. Thank goodness. Thank you for the roundup. Of course, using a pen and paper, he has proven today that you can still write on parchment and get us the results we need. Thank you again to all the teams. You've all been wonderful. And thank you for all the time investment as well. I know a lot of these teams have done a lot of practicing to get to this point. There are a few things I need to mention before we head out here. We are featured this week on Raider.io, and we're on the front page all the way through to Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday, we have a guest streamer from our community. We've got Bear's Adventures, and you can check out Bear on Monday and Tuesday. Front page Raider.io, we're going to thank them for that. That's very kind. Also, thank you for all the donations today from Safe in Our World. We really, really appreciate it. People have been very, very generous. We've got multiple giveaways on our Discord. Of course, discord.gg/Starship EU, which you can see underneath co-optimally there. And you could win the War Within game code. You could win a $100 gift card for Gamer Advantage. There are many, many things that we run on there all the time. You can enter them and sort of come away with all these gifts, and it's really, really cool. We'll keep them going as well throughout the year. We keep growing and growing. Now, we want to thank the partners as we close out today. Blizzard, Raider.io, Zygor Guides, Glitch Energy, Gamer Advantage, Streamlabs, and of course Safe in Our World. This wouldn't all be possible if it wasn't for them. And we'll continue supporting and sort of being with them, I'm sure, as we go forward. So thank you to them. And check out our merch. There is a lot of things I just said there. So go to the Discord. You'll see everything, and also in the descriptions below. Ko, as we leave today, do you have anything to say as we head out?
Well, absolutely. Thank you for everyone for coming along, for taking part, for the lovely messages, the donations, watching. However you took part in this event, it's an absolute pleasure to put on and to be part of as every single time. The only thing I can tell you is there will definitely be another one. It will be midway through this year, most likely, and it will be on Classic.
Ooh, Classic. Okay, good to know. So slots are available right now. Head over to the Discord. Join in right now. Well, that's it from me and Co. and from all the teams here. Thank you again. We really appreciate you being here. And until next time, we're Starship, and this was the Race to World Worst. Goodbye from us.
The Starship Race to World Worst Season 3 is proudly supported by Blizzard Entertainment, Raider.io, Zygor Guides, and is proud to support our partnered charity, Safe in Our World.
If you like Mythic Plus, you'll love Raider.io's two newest features, the Auto Route Creator and the Mythic Plus Replay System, both available for free to everyone right now. Try out the Auto Route Creator to generate your own routes from any live-tracked key on the leaderboards, or test your team's mettle against pros, guildies, your friends, or your own personal bests by starting a replay alongside your real-time run with the Mythic Plus Replay System. Get your hands on both features for free right now on our website and let us know what you think. Until then, we'll see you in Azeroth.
Power level your characters, make lots of gold, and accomplish more in World of Warcraft with Zygor Guides. Our guides are unique in that they use a custom guide viewer add-on to display things right inside the game. Every guide is presented in an easy-to-follow, step-by-step format that tells you exactly where to go, who to talk to, which quests to accept, how to complete quest objectives, and more, all in the most efficient manner to get more done in less time. Since the guides are in-game, they can dynamically detect your progress, update in real time, and automatically skip forward as you complete steps. Finding your way around couldn't be easier thanks to our custom waypoint arrow that works like an in-game GPS, generating the fastest directions to your next location, factoring in every method of travel, including flight paths, items, portals, and more. You'll no longer find yourself wondering where to go or what to do next ever again. The guides also include numerous additional features to speed things up even more, like auto-accepting and turning in quests, highlighting the best quest rewards, notifying you when you have new gear upgrades, pointing where you need to fly to on your map, auto-selling gray items, and more. We offer guides for virtually every aspect of the game, including leveling, dungeons, dailies, professions, collectibles, and achievements. Discover all the latest content with our new Featured section, which showcases all the new guides added in every patch and expansion with detailed explanations on how it all works. Or search our entire collection to find a guide for almost anything you want to do. All of our guides have been fully updated for Dragonflight, and new content is being added all the time. Sign up for Zygor Elite and gain instant access to our full suite of guides for both retail and classic WoW for one low monthly fee. As part of Zygor Elite, you'll receive ongoing weekly updates for new patches, future expansions, and seasonal events, as well as general fixes and improvements to make sure all content stays current and well optimized for any changes Blizzard makes. Take your gaming to the next level with Zygor Guides.
Who took the bomb?